Hello and welcome to episode 104 of In PS We Trust, a PlayStation podcast. My name's Davey and joined with me as always is he's not here. It's Lewis. How you doing, Lewis? You okay?
Hey, I'm the replacement guy. No Phil today. Sorry, guys. You got me.
Phil's
Yeah.
dark alter ego. We got the Xbox version. Although you've probably played more PlayStation than Phil this year, so welcome to the show, Lewis. And of course, the boy wonder himself, Spencer Davis. How the hell are you, my friend?
I'm good. I'm ready to discuss video games.
Tell you what, it's an odd pairing, this. It's not very often I get both of you on at the same time. It's like, you never see Batman and Bruce Wayne in the same room. It's kind of like that. It's kind of throwing me off that I'm looking over and there's you two and one of you isn't Phil. And it's kind of weirding me out a little bit, But I reckon it's going to be a good vibe today. It's going to be a good vibe. And do you know what makes it the best vibe? We have ourselves a new king. And that is me, ladies and gentlemen. And before we get anything out of the way, I'm not going to gloat too much. Phil's not here, and I like rubbing it in, into those wounds, because he was very salty by the end of that. I just want to say thank you, Spencer, for giving me the crown. Oh, wait. It's still not here. So you're hanging on to my crown, but I'll let it slide. And it's going to be a short reign because we're only going to let it go to 110 and then we're going to do another quiz. So it's going to be a short one.
We'll see what happens when we get to 110.
Yeah, we'll see. Diaries might not mash, might they? But, audience, you are in for a whirlwind of a show. Under my stewardship as the new king, we are going to be having brand new rules in for quick news, which are going to last for the next run of episodes, which are going to be a good time. And we got a normal run of the show. So we're going to kick off with a hypothetical, then move it into the quick news, and then we're going to bring on to our topic today. And our topic is, of course, the Game Awards. And we are going to be going through and putting our thoughts out there for how the show actually did this year. Did it live up to the hype? There was big hype going in. Did it actually manage to do that? And we're also then going to separate our lists out of the games that really spoke to us in our typical podcast fashion of a shag, marry, and a kill. And the idea is that we shall be joined by Mr. Philip Hoy, who is away on holiday enjoying himself. So we're hoping that we can get him in on a satellite call or whatever they say when someone's long distance and try and get them in on this. The power of the internet hopefully should work. It's going to do a lot better than playing the PlayStation Portal is over in America. That's the theory here. But before we dive into any of that, let's kick the show off the way we know how to. Guys, I got a hypothetical for you. And I asked you all this. I think, Spence, I asked you and Phil this while we were drinking pre the big quiz. I don't know if you'll remember it, because it was a heavy old big quiz, that one.
Yeah.
So, the hypothetical is this. Imagine you're in a cataclysmic car accident. You wake up in a coma after you've been in a coma for a little while. You wake up and the doctor says, Spencer, Lewis, glad to see you made it. You made it through the hard times. Unfortunately, we got a bit of a complication. Your penis was completely decimated, destroyed. Now, you've got two options. We can either rebuild it as a micro penis, so 1 incher, or you can have a fully functioning vagina, but we have to keep your balls. So you can't lose your balls. You're going to have a vagina above it or a 1 inch micro penis. What do you do, boys? Spence, going to come across to you first.
So if I go the penis route, nothing changes.
Yes, yeah. Well, if you got a 1 incher, bro, that's grim. There's no way you got 1 inch down there.
I've just avoided decimation because of my small penis. Beautiful.
Well, yeah, you just walked away absolutely fine.
My penis has doubled in size. How's that happened?
You know in that Bruce Willis film Unbreakable, where like it takes like a train crash or whatever for them to realize he's got these powers. They'll start thinking you've got those kind of powers, mate. But it's just that your penis is so miraculously small that it avoided all damage, which is a benefit to having a small penis, I'm sure.
It is, yeah. And you get to sit with your legs close together and there's no hindrance, It's quite nice. In actual reality, what I would choose, the vagina every day.
With the balls?
Yeah, even with the balls. Because I'm sure I could do something about the balls after. Maybe I could like tuck them up in between my arse cheeks. I don't know.
You'd have to, wouldn't you? You'd have
Yeah,
to
you'd kind of have to. But then there's a lot of my homies that aren't too successful on the field, and I could be there for them when they just need the hit, you know. And sure, they might have to deal with some balls slapping about, like our balls slapping each other.
Yeah.
But are they going to complain? They're getting pussy.
Yeah, I can't imagine. You know, the thing is, it's a fully functioning, so it's better than a normal fake one, right? Because I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking, you know, when people go in for like a sex change shop, it doesn't self lube, does it? They got to obviously chuck a bit of KY jelly up there or whatever they use, right? You got to use something. Whereas this is fully somehow through a medical marvel, it is fully a proper vagina. So.
When you say it is fully functional and a proper vagina, are we talking periods? Are we talking pregnancy? Like, because that's when we have fully functioning vagina, mate.
Well, I mean,
I'd have to assume so, right?
I mean, that's the rest of the sexual organs, right? Like, that's the ovaries and all that. I'm not saying that he's going to be able to work an absolute fucking miracle here. He's not going to, you know, be able to make you into a woman.
I can't have a child.
It's just in case you've just got no. So, unfortunately, you were inert at that point, right? But you still got your balls. So, you know, I don't know how that works. I don't know. Is there a chance that if you were, you know, getting with a woman and you're scissoring, can you get her pregnant? I don't know. Maybe. I imagine you probably could, right? There's that possibility there. Yeah, as people say you can get pregnant off, like, you know, pre-cum and stuff.
Yeah.
So I imagine if you're rubbing up your fannies together, scissoring, getting a scissor action in, that there's a chance of pregnancy there. So you're not totally safe out the woods, yeah. But with the boys, you'll be fine.
It sounds like a really weird metaphorical question, like rhetorical question. Like, does a tree fall over in the woods? Can two lesbians have a baby if one of them has balls? Like, this is like one of those questions that will go down in history.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Because I asked, before I come across to yourself, Lewis, and I think Spence, you're completely bang on. I think I'd go for exactly the same thing, fully functioning vagina. And I said to Karen, and she was like, you keep the balls. And she's like, yeah. She's like, good, that doesn't make me gay. So it was very important to her that I kept the balls. Like, extremely important. So, you know, I think if anything, maybe that's a way that a girl who's maybe got those kind of bi tendencies, but they've never gone full throttle, you're like a halfway house. So you're kind of there, you're with a man, but he's got the goods, right? He's got the goods.
A halfway house is nuts.
Yeah, so you're like there already, you know, you're there as that gateway for them before they go full woman. And if anything, you know, a lot of lesbian girl, a lot of them can be quite, you know, proper girly, and they go for like a butcher, not always the case, but they generally go for like a butcher lesbian partner, don't they? And so you're kind of like the peak of that because you're a man.
There's an issue there because say you're like on a night out and you're trying to graft with this bird. You don't look like a butch lesbian. You look like a bloke with a fanny. It's different. And you kind of, as soon as you start, you know, chatting to her, she'll be like, oh, I'm gay. And you're like, I've got a fanny. So it's fine. How's she going to react to that? She's going to think he's fucking lying to me because he wants to shag me.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. You'd be like, I'm mega convincing.
It's 2024. Guys can have fannies. You know?
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, maybe you just say, look, I'm halfway through the op, so I managed to get the vagina is in, haven't had the balls removed. And she's like, can you? No. No, the doctor made sure when he did this operation, I can never remove them for whatever reason.
Who is this doctor? This sounds like a horrible doctor. It's just like, I'm going to give you a penis, but I'm going to make it really small. Or I'm going to make you a vagina and keep the balls. This is some mad science shit. It's like Frankenstein's monster. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Ruining lives, one car crash at a time for a coma victim. But yeah, I got to agree with Spence. I'm going straight in, working vagina. As Spence said, sort the boys out if they need it. You know, what are you going to do? You're not going to say no, are you? Fire away, lads. No, always wanted to know what it feels like, you know, from the other side. If you're a woman, always wondered what it is. Now you can experience that. Problem is, it's not like Freaky Friday. Every goddamn day is Freaky Friday, and there's no going back. That's the downside to this. But what about yourself, Lewis? Where are you going with this?
So we've established that you don't get like periods or like period pain or any of that shit. So it's just the good parts of having a vagina. Not the bad parts having the vagina.
All the good. All the good.
I don't know, man. I think I might stick with the micro penis. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like the idea of having a dick thrusted inside me. I'm gonna be honest. I have an asshole. If someone wants to fuck me in the ass, I don't want that either. To be perfectly honest, it's like I don't really want a dick in me.
You don't have to go.
You don't have to though, innit? You don't have to, go around getting fucked.
But
you can just live your life with your fanny.
Yeah, you can. I mean, yeah. The thing about it is that if you had the vagina, I think the question would bother you a lot more than it does being a straight man, right? I never think about, I wonder what it's like to have something inside me now. But if I had a vagina, I can imagine the first thing I'd do is chuck something in it. 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Frame one, and it'd be you, mate.
I mean, if the metaphorical question was like, this was like for like a month or like a couple of days or something, then a heartbeat. But for the rest of your life, I'm like, I don't know. That makes it tricky.
I'd never have something out of it, mate.
Well, walking around with like those bullets
all
in
day.
it. Like
I've been bestowed this gift.
Yeah.
It's another pocket, isn't it? They don't utilize it enough, I don't think. The amount of things you could probably stuff up there. People wait until they get to prison before they realize what they can put up in their arse. Let alone if you had that permanent pocket there, front pocket all the time, ready to go.
Oh man!
Just put. Have you got your gloves? Oh, it's summer, but you know what? It's quite nippy. Hold on, it's like Mary Poppins' bag, bro. You're pulling everything out of there. Speaking
of prison, though, what happens if you end up in prison or something? Would you be in a male prison, a female prison? And if you were in a male prison and they found out you had a vagina, I don't think you'd be having a good time.
It
I
depends.
think that'd be rough. To be honest.
It depends on how much you like trading yourself for cigarettes. If you're quite happy for that, and you've got a real bad nicotine.
Yeah, no, I think you're
just getting raped.
Forced, yeah.
Yeah,
that would kind of suck.
Nice.
No.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's going to happen, being a pretty boy, it comes Spence's way. He's getting it all the time, regardless, vagina or not. He's going to be holding someone's pocket and going around by the end of the day, first day on prison.
So I'll be skipping my steps as well. I'll be buzzing.
Queen bitch, like top one, number one.
Yeah.
Hey boys.
If you're there with his top all rolled up in like a little crop top. By 5 p.m. on first day, he's already done it.
I'll take the vagina.
You're going for the vagina. You've walked back.
You've convinced me. I'll why not? Because either way, it's going to suck. So might as well at least try something different.
Yeah, get a different experience, innit? Live the first like 30 odd years of your life with a penis. Let's go for the final 40 odd or whatever it is. Living the other life, and at least you can get like a magazine thing in like Hello or OK magazine. I used to have a penis, now I have a vagina. You could just see it front of OK. You can make some bank off that.
Worst case scenario, I'll go to Thailand and just get some lady boys. Then it's like sorted.
Yeah,
easy.
Yeah. Then
you got options. Well, listeners, I'd love to know what you think about this question. How are you going to side with it? Are you going to go for the micro, or are you going to side with the boys and go for a fully functioning vagina? Let us know. Write into the email, pswetrust@gmail.com, or hit us up on the email, pswetrust@gmail.com. Now let's move it on to what we've been playing.
This time on NPS We Trust, what have the boys been playing?
So guys, it's been 2 weeks since the last podcast episode, and I'm desperate to know what you've been up to in that time. First off, kicking it off, Lewis, I really want to hear, how are things going on Planet Xbox at the moment, and what have you been up to?
It's been good. I'm playing a lot of games at the moment, as you've already discussed in the past. But I'm going to just stick it to. I'm just going to mention 2 games briefly. The first one might be my game of the year, Balatro. I've become obsessed with that game.
Oh yeah.
It's like poker roguelike game where you just you get jokers as modifiers, and it's just basically you got to figure out like different like strategies and stuff. A lot of fun. Addicted to that. I got it on my Xbox, my Switch, my mobile phone, and on Steam. So I have access to it everywhere. Yeah, it's one of those games I'll just play for like 20 minutes or whatever when I'm bored. It's just like that's my go-to like chill out game, like my what's it called?
Like a calming, like a switch off kind of
chill game.
Palate cleanser.
It's my comfort food game.
Oh, I get it. I get you.
Yeah.
How How much does it set you back for a copy of Balatro?
20 quid.
20 quid a pop. So you spent like 100 odd quid on this game.
Yeah, I think this game's, I'm addicted.
Lunatic.
Wow. Wow.
obsessed.
Must be fucking loving
To
it.
be fair, though, I'm pretty sure it's cheaper on mobile, right? It's like £5 or something on mobile. And is it free on Game Pass?
No. It should have been, but it's
wow.
not. I actually bought it. I know, an Xbox person buying a game. I know.
That's
right?
crazy. 6 times?
I was tempted to buy it on PlayStation as well, but apparently the platinum's like impossible, so I'm not even going to attempt it. So, it involves you playing the hardest difficulty like 60, 70 times and completing it like flawlessly. Like, nah, that's not happening. So, nope, not even going to attempt the platinum. I was looking it up. It's the hardest platinum of 2024, according to PS Insiders or something. Anyway,
wow.
Yeah, so nope, that's a no from me. But anyway, yeah, I'm addicted to that game, but I was just going to mention that because I'm glad it won a load of awards, which we'll talk about later. But the game I'm playing at the moment is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I love it. It's so good. I'm kind of... I know I should be like an Xbox fanboy right here, going ha 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 ha, ha and all this stuff. I got a game you don't, but I'm kind of sad because I kind of want to talk to you about. I want to talk to you guys about the game. I wish you were playing it at the same time as me, knowing the fact that I'm gonna play it, probably forget most of the stuff, and in 3 months' time, then you're gonna play it and be like, oh yeah, this bit was awesome, this bit was great, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it's kind of sad because I like you're the guys I talk to the most about like the games I'm playing, so. But yeah, loving Indiana Jones. It's so good. it's so much fun.
I'm so glad to hear that, man, because like Machine Games absolutely cooked on Wolfenstein. They were serving up some gourmet shit. And I knew as soon as I saw that they were involved with Indy, I thought this is gonna be good. And the trailers and stuff were all getting me hyped. And I knew it'd be for me. I'm a massive Indiana Jones fan. But how do you feel? And I've seen some kind of backlash, always a weird thing to say because the internet's always fucking angry about something. How do you feel about them using the opening of Raiders as the kind of intro to the game? Did you find that a bit weird or?
It was brilliant. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I'm like, oh my god, I'm in the movie. Oh my god, I love that shit. I don't care. I love my nostalgia. Just like give me a nostalgia right into my veins. That's my shit. I love nostalgia. No, it's so the beginning is the best bit. I think I love that. But then, so you have like you play through the beginning, which is like I guess a spoiler, but it's literally the first 10 seconds of the game. So you play through that, and then it becomes like an open, like semi-open world stealth game. Kind of reminds me of like Dishonored or Prey or like Deathloop or like that kind of those type of games. Like the typical arcade type of games, ironically, which are no longer a thing. Yeah, I mean, really fun. Like it's very slapstick. Like it's like the violence is just comical. Like you're hitting people with a shovel and it's like goes doing, like kind of like that kind of thing. If you ever get a chance to watch Video Game Donkey, his video of Indiana Jones is absolutely hysterical. He's just walking around throwing stuff at people and they're just like falling over. It's just absolutely it's very slapstick and comical. It has a good Indiana Jones vibe to it. I mean, this is the best Indiana Jones media since like the original trilogy, honestly, because I liked Dial of Destiny, but it wasn't that great. Crystal Skull could just go like do one, but yeah, as a big Indiana Jones fan, it's like it nails it. It really does. I didn't think that Troy Baker could like do it justice, but he like you forget it does. You just think it's Harrison Ford when you're playing it. You don't even give it a second thought. He does an incredible job. It's just a great game. I'm not sure if it's in my top 5 games of the year, which you'll have to tune in for next 2 weeks, maybe. I haven't played it enough yet to decide that, but I'm loving it so far. It's a lot of fun.
What I want to know is, obviously, that I've watched a couple of reviews, and the big thing that stood out to me is that they got the punch sound effect right. And I loved it, and the sound of the whip all sounds like really authentic, and I loved all that stuff. One of my favorite things about like indie movies, and it's in every single indie movie, and it's only ever like one scene that it ever happens, but I love it every single time. And it's always like punching somebody into certain death. So it'd be like punching somebody into like either like a boulder which is rolling down, their head gets squashed, or they hit the propeller blade of a plane, or they just fall a dramatically high height. It's something like that where you just like punch somebody, normally an uppercut to end it, and they just fly back straight into certain death. And Indy didn't technically kill them, but he has. is there plenty
Oh,
of
yeah.
opportunity for absolute destruction of these enemies?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, like the Batman thing, isn't it? That Batman doesn't kill anyone yet. If you play Arkham City, it's like, oh yeah, they're all dead. They're definitely dead. But you know, like you could drop people off buildings, or you could like smack them over the head with like lead pipes and stuff, and like yeah, you're definitely killing people in this game. They might not, they might see you not, but you definitely are. Um, yeah, it's quite funny going from like Uncharted, because obviously that's what people would go to as their first like picking between the two. Because in Uncharted, you are like a mass murderer, genocidal guy just shooting down everyone. As much as I love Uncharted, it's not me slagging it off. I love Uncharted, but it's like yeah, it's all slapstick. So it's like it works because like oh they might have survived, and in your head you're like no they're dead, but like maybe there's a chance.
Yeah, as you
You
riddle
can
them with
actually
like a machine gun.
yeah.
I'm sure they'll walk that off.
Like you have a gun in like you have a pistol in that game, which I rarely use to be fair. But you're like shooting them in the head, and sometimes they just keep walking. It's like so that could be a bit of a negative. Your pistols are not very useful in that game, so you want to it. It is mainly a melee type of game, to be fair. I think the gun's really only good for like thinning out the herd if you get really stuck and it's like hundreds of people chasing you. But yeah. No, it's just fun. It's a lot of fun. I want to play more of it. Unfortunately, I've been a bit ill the last few days, so I haven't really had a chance to play it, but I'm really looking forward to getting back into it. I'm about 4 or 5 hours in, and the puzzles are
Nice.
really fun in it as well. Like the puzzles in the like Uncharted and stuff are like fun as well, but it's like I think I prefer the puzzles in this because it's all in first person, so like it feels more like you're actually involved in the puzzles, which I find
Mm.
really cool. So yeah, it's great. I'm not sure if it's my game of the year, but it's very good so far. Promising.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to hearing more about that in a couple of weeks' time. And for myself, I know this is definitely a day one for me in spring. And this is the thing I remember saying at the time, and I know I've said to you already a couple of times, Lewis, on our own chats, but if Xbox hadn't have fucking said this was coming, I would have been playing an Xbox right now, and I've been playing indie. Like, that's how much I love this fucking franchise. And, I could have picked one up off Marketplace for like 100 quid or something like that and just be having a great little time with it. And I would have loved it, right? And maybe, you never know, I could come on here wearing all green and swearing by, the fucking Game Pass and all this bollocks. But that reality has never come to pass because it's like, what, 3-4 months? And I'll be sipping out a fucking Indie's Hit Flask, living the absolute dream. But Spence, will you be joining me? Are you interested in Indiana Jones, or is this a hard pass for you?
I'm interested in it, not enough to buy it myself. I like Indiana Jones. I've always liked Indiana Jones. I'm not a die-hard fan of Indiana Jones. I'll borrow it off you when you're done, or we'll game share it if you get it digital. You getting an Xbox, I still think is ridiculous. Just play it on your PC. It's the easiest thing. It will automatically detect a controller. It's a piece of. You could play it now, literally play it now, and it would be perfect. But you just like, oh, what's these? Oh,
Yeah.
ridiculous, mate.
It's
I've
fucking...
heard the PC port is very good as well. Apparently, from what I've heard, it's very well optimized. But I was going to mention as well, if I'm assuming the trophy list will be the same as the achievement list on Xbox,
Yeah.
and it's a very doable 1,000 achievement score. So I think this would be a doable platinum for you as well. So it might be something that you might want to consider as well. I know you love your platinums, so there's
Oh,
also that.
that would be the dick thing they could do. Bring it over without a plat.
Oh yes, to do that. I
That
mean, they already
would
did
be
that with Call of
sick.
Duty.
Imagine.
I mean, they already did that with Call of Duty, didn't they? So sort of.
Yeah, well, Activision were doing that before even the buyout, my friend. They just,
Mm.
for some reason, they thought, you know what? Fuck trophy hunters. I remember kicking off about it, and then here we are 3 years removed, and I'm just kind of giving up the fight. And it's just like, well, never fucking mind. Saves me going for, playing veteran difficulty or doing any of those stupid playing levels that were really hard on previous cards. All that kind of headache's gone. I can just enjoy the campaign, enjoy the zombies, bounce out whenever I want to, and don't feel like I've fucked myself over from having pretty much a perfect COD run rate for every single COD experience I've bought. I've got to play. But, fuck me, I guess. Cheers, Activision, you fucking cunts. But I'm really glad to hear about Indie, mate. I'm really, really glad. Now, Spence, let's move it over to yourself. What have you been up to these last 2 weeks?
Sure. So I've really not been up to much at all. I've been busy out socializing. I've been not well as well, I think, and I've been working. And I've mostly just been playing League of Legends. But I won't talk about League of Legends today because my main man Phil ain't here. and you guys won't appreciate it. So I'll leave that for another day. The first game I think I want to talk about, just a little short one because I only just started today. Doom 2016.
Holy fuck! Holy fuck! This, you kept this under wraps?
Doable platinum.
I thought you might be excited. I literally did the first mission, that's it. Because I started it and I thought, yeah, this is great.
Same.
I shouldn't be playing it.
Why?
I've literally done the first mission in 2016 as well. Literally did the same thing.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But I got other stuff to play. So this is where we move on to what else I've been playing. Well, first off, today I started up with Street Fighter 6 and I just lost 100 MR and I was like, fuck this. I got to play something more chill, not in headspace. Doom, did that first mission. Thought, I want to beat this. Need to play something else. Booted up Alan Wake 2. And I played Alan Wake 2 for about maybe 4 hours today. So I accidentally erased my save the other day. But it only set me back about an hour. So it wasn't that bad. There was a backup save there.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, so not that bad. So I got back to where I was and then played maybe 2 hours onwards. So I've just done the nursing home with the Andersons, with Tor and Odin. Sick section. And scary as well. This game is so scary. I love it. I absolutely adore it. But I ultimately didn't make more progress. That is just where I left off. So that's where I am. But I'm committed to it now. I'm going to keep playing.
Nice. The thing I'm really interested to hear, and I actually can't wait for you to get there, is the first kind of real mission as Alan. Like, you do what you do on early, of course, but I mean, like, the kind of main one after you complete Saga and you get onto Alan's. That's what I want to hear. Like, that first kind of main mission as Alan. That's what won it the Game of the Year, bro. That's what got it nominated and shit. Like, that mission is just insanely good. But I know exactly where you are. And yeah, that entire section is freaky as hell, man. Like, super freaky. And I spent way too long there. Like, I was just walking around, taking everything in. I think there's so many environmental things that you can kind of do there. I spent forever there, like a stupid amount of time. And I didn't regret it. I found it just a really captivating area of the game to be in. And yeah, you get some cool weapons and stuff like that as well. Great section, man. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I really am. Although, get it done so you play Doom, mate. I know it's 2016, dude, but you know, Doom comes out in what, next year, right? Then the next Doom is only a handful of months away, right, Lewis?
Yeah, I mean, the Dark Ages, I think, they've said it's coming on PS5 as well, so I'm assuming this day one. The last one came out in March 2020, same time as Animal Crossing, so I imagine it'd be around the same time. I'm not sure. The schedule for next year in Xbox is quite packed, but then the schedule for this year was packed, and they put Hellblade at the beginning of the year and everything else at the end of the year, so who knows? They should spread the games, Xbox. Spread the games. Let's have Doom early Q2, I hope. Fingers crossed.
I tell you what, it's going to be a hard year for anyone else for my top 5 when Doom's there. Because I fucking loved 2016. I loved Eternal. I like Eternal. Fuck. Some people think Eternal's not as good as Doom 2016. I think it's better. I think it's just the combat system with getting armor and stuff in that with a chainsaw. Just fucking perfect gameplay, man. So good. So good. Oh, the ending. Oh, man. Like, you got some good games to play, Spence. You really do. But we'll get there when they get there. Is that all the games for yourself, my friend?
One more, but I won't touch on it too much. So, obviously, I've said in the past I've been playing Silent Hill 2, the original. That is now finished. And I am about 4 or 5 hours into the remake.
Oh, wow.
So, for the original, I beat it with my friends, same as I did Silent Hill 1. We got the best possible ending. Somehow. God knows. And I'm a bit torn whether I prefer Silent Hill 1 or 2. I'm actually really torn between it. I think the storytelling's better in 2. But I think I prefer the way the gameplay feels and handles in Silent Hill 1. And then the puzzles are about the same. So it is what it is. I think they're both kind of on the same level. to each other. But brilliant fucking game, Silent Hill 2. Phenomenal. The remake, fuck me, bro. The remake, it's just better in like every way, I think, so far anyway. And the good thing about it, they've really fleshed out every area. So in those 5 hours, I've just finished Silent Hill 2, so I know everything. The environments are different, larger. There's more puzzles. There's more items and weapons and everything. I'm still in where you meet Eddie in the apartments.
Oh, wow.
I'm still there 5 hours in. I've just finished it.
Wow. Fucking
Silent
hell.
Hill 2, the remake is way bigger than the original, and I fucking love it.
Whoa. Well, this is going to be my gaming admission of the year. Is I think that I'm not going to have time to be able to get through Silent Hill this year. I don't think I am. So it means that my January is going to be kicking off in horror mode, where I'm going to play the rest of Silent Hill 2 original, which I started like fucking 7 months ago. Finish that off, and then Silent Hill 2 remake. Because I've got it on the shelf. I've got it there, good to go. But I just haven't played it. And I think a lot of it, and this is going to sound weird, but I think a lot of it is kind of like survival horror fatigue in a way. Like I played like 30 Resident Evils back to back, all the Dead Spaces, fucking all the Evil Withins, like all this stuff kind of like back to back for 3 years. And then I started Silent Hill. I thought, fuck, do you know what? I just don't want to fucking play like survival horror. I just don't want to. Like, I love the genre more than anything, but it's like Terry's Chocolate Orange, right? I love Terry's Chocolate Orange. Perfect Christmas chocolate, right? Like top tier fucking. Someone gives you Terry's Chocolate Orange. If you like chocolate like I do, you know you fucking eating good. That's going to be a fantastic treat. But what makes it better is it's not very often that you have it, right? It's like that one time a year you get that chocolate orange hit. It fucking slaps tits every time. Survival horror is very much like that for me. And I think now I'm just getting to the point where I needed this break away from survival horror. Like the last thing I played in the genre was, well, if you take out when I played Silent Hill 1, Resident Evil 4 Remake, right? So it's been like a year now since I properly dived into this. And I am craving to go back to Silent Hill. I got a couple of things on my hit list which I'm ticking off, and they'll be done within a week, and then I begin on the journey. So I'm looking forward to picking up with you on that one, and you might very well get to the point where you can put it in your top 5. But for me, it's definitely going to miss my top 5 this year, which is going to be a shame. But much like I did with Guardians of the Galaxy, I think I'll be able to give it like an honorary. This would have made it, you know. But no, really glad to hear it, mate. I don't want to hear any more. As much as I want to hear more, I don't, because I want to experience it myself. So I'm not going to push you, but I don't know if Lewis has got any questions he wants to ask.
No, I don't really have anything. I'm not really a survival horror guy. I only really play RE occasionally, 4 mainly, which I know is the one you guys hate. Like, it's not your favorite, so you know. But yeah, I'm not really super into survival horror, but. Well, I have one question. Should I play Alan Wake 2 first or Silent Hill 2 first?
I would say Alan Wake 2. However, for you, I don't think you should play Alan Wake 2 at all. I think Silent Hill 2 is the game for you. Alan Wake 2 is, in my opinion, one of the best survival horrors in that it's a horror. It is fucking terrifying, Alan Wake 2, mate. It's probably one of the scariest games I've played. It's sick. Whereas Silent Hill 2, it's not really a scary game. You know, the remake's a lot scarier than the original, but that's just because everything's so graphically improved. It's not that scary a game, really. But it's a lot harder than the original. So that's good.
He's saying all the right things to me.
I actually do have Alan Wake 2, though, and I don't own Silent Hill 2, so there you go. I might just ignore your advice and play Alan Wake 2 anyway.
Do it, mate. I'd love for you to play Alan Wake 2.
I only did the intro, I think, where they got the guy's corpse, and then he basically gets up and then you start shooting at the corpse, and that is literally as far as I got. Not because I was also like, oh, I'm so scared, turned it off and then leave. It was just like I had other things to do. But I have been meaning to go back to it. So, but yeah, both games both sound class, to be fair. So, yeah, I'm not super into survival horror, but I will play it. It's like the chocolate orange you were just talking about. Like,
Yeah.
I'll have there'll be a time where I'll be in the mood for survival horror, and I'll play it.
Mm.
Like, I'll play one, which is like the last time that was Resident Evil 4 remake. And the
Ooh.
DLC. That was like the last time I was really into survival horror. It'll come around again, and then I'll play one of them, I'm sure. So yeah.
Well, for me, keeping on with the Terry's chocolate analogy is, and I'm bad for this, I won't just have one Terry's chocolate at Christmas, right? Like, I'll have several given to me from different people because they all know I love it. And that's it. I even got to the point where the other day on Instagram, because I follow Terry's chocolate on Instagram, and they were doing a competition, and you had to tag somebody in who's a chocoholic. I know they're not a chocoholic, so I tagged Phil, thinking that if he won, because he's got a good chance of winning, he always seems to win these things, he'll just give it to me, right? So I got double the odds of winning Terry's chocolate here. And it's very much going to be like that with survival horror. As soon as I dip my toe back in, I'll be suckered, bro. And I'll be back on the YouTube grind. Everything will come back in, and I'll be all for it. So I'm readying myself before I take that on, because I've got 2 games that I've been playing. The first is one that I mentioned on the show when it first came to PlayStation Extra, and I thought that it would be interesting. And I thought I really want another kind of palate cleanser game, something that will be a different kind of experience from what I've been having lately. Yeah, and that's Greece. Now, Greece came to the service a few months back. It came out originally in 2022, I believe. And what it is, it's like Journey, right? Where it's a hand-drawn kind of watercolor game. No speaking. The story is all interpretation and metaphor. All about loss and grief. And it's beautiful. It's absolutely fucking amazing. I loved every single goddamn minute of it. It's about 3 hours long tops.
Wow.
Maybe 2. And it's just simple platforming and puzzles that are just really well designed. And it's fucking just really emotional. It's like the music just really captivating. I've played it through, completed it, and I'm now going back through a second run to get my collectibles to get the platty, and I am over the moon with it. I love it, actually. It's a really beautiful experience. I think if anybody's looking for a game they can sit down in the afternoon and play, I'd highly recommend it. Really highly recommend it. It's fantastic. It really is. And then the game that I'm going to talk about a little bit more is I have been playing Skydance's Behemoth.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
Oh, I've seen the clips. Yeah, you've seen into this.
Oh my god. I dusted off the VR, and I thought, right, I bought this, pre-ordered. I was like, I can't fucking wait for this. Put the headset on, and fuck me, why have I been away from VR for so long?
Good, isn't it?
Like, fuck me, it's good. And it's been a bit of a learning experience, because I looked, and it's been about 10, 11 months since I last put my VR on. It's been a long time. And I dived into it, and I thought, right, well, I'd built myself up to be able to do smooth turning, no problem, to be able to do everything. And so I was like, right, I'll get in there, go on the settings, all vignettes off, right? All vignettes off, all comfort settings off. Turning, I pumped it up to, so it's default at 20. Out of 100, I put it up to 60. I was like, we're just fucking diving in for this, and it'd be fine, come what may. I lasted 2 hours on my first session, came off, and I was sick as a fucking dog.
You threw up?
Didn't throw up, but I was out of it. The missus was coming on to me. I was like, not tonight, honey. Like, no, my stomach's in bits. Like, not tonight. You're going to have to. No chance. Absolutely no chance. I then had 2 other sessions, each of about similar time, and it's getting better. It's not quite there. I'm not 100%. It feels like the early days of Kayak VR for me, in terms of I'm still getting my legs. There's the odd moment where I'm like, whoa. I fucking love this game.
Yeah?
I fucking love it. It is class. It is so fucking good. The story of it, I'm not going to go into spoilers or anything. The story of it is really quite engaging. And you've got a lot of lore around that you can pick up, and these scrolls and these skulls that you can pick up. And the main bulk of it is very linear. Going through, enemies come out, you fuck them up, right? And the difficulty, you got 3 levels. You got a easy, I can't remember what it's called, standard, and then you got barbarian. I'm playing it on barbarian, the hardest difficulty, which means that 2 hits, you're dead. You are dead. So I'm playing it like Dark Souls. So it's very much a case of you've just got to fucking block, man, and you got to parry. And the parrying, people seem to have an issue with the parrying when I'm looking online, and reviews have really cut it down for its parries. Pardon the pun. People are just shit, man. They're just shit. They're absolutely just shit. There's a proper like art to it, and you got to like put your blade up to wherever the blade's coming in from, push against it, parry, right? And it feels pang. And as soon as you parry, you do like double damage in that hit. And there's just nothing better than I've got this big ass fucking boss weapon that I got on my back, right? It's a massive ass double-handed sword, huge. And there's nothing better than parrying with my little blades. Like I got like a little dagger on my left hip. So I can then just throw it, parrying, and then just pulling it out and just fucking cleaving someone in half. And then just fucking putting the sword away and walking off. And you're just like, oh, that's so sick. That's so sick. But there has just been awesome moments. Like I had this just cool moment that seems to happen all the time. It's just full of cool moments. But I had this one where there was these 3 enemies, and the one came at me. I threw a knife and just like stabbed him in the head. Second one came up, I just stabbed him, and the third threw a knife at me, and I just parried it back at him and just killed him with his own knife. And I was like, oh shit! It's like so good for shit like that. I had a guy throw an arrow, right? Like shoot an arrow. Caught it in the air and just launched it back at him, and I was like, oh fuck. Like it just is super cool that you just get these moments all throughout. And the fucking behemoths, bro, fuck, like I tell you what, this game is a fucking barrel of fun. And I don't know how much longer I've got its company for, but it's been super fun. It's been super, super fucking fun. And for yourself, Spence, you've got you game share with me. Get on there, man. Enjoy it, dude. Like it had a major patch Thursday, which fixed a couple of the issues that people had with it in terms of like its blade detection and things like that. But I haven't really encountered any issues at all. I've had like one minor thing, like where I stabbed someone in the head and the fucking physics on him bugged out, and so like his like asset kind of like merged with the land, and his head just became massive, and he was like flopping around everywhere. Apart from that, the rest of it's been running buttery smooth. So I don't know what all these reviewers or whatever are talking about. It's been running absolutely fine for me. But if anyone's got a VR out there and you're looking for a fun experience, Behemoth's the one. It's really fucking fun. But has anyone got any questions on these before we bring this section to a close?
I don't want to know anything, mate. Not a word.
Give it the Silent Hill 2 treatment. I get it. All right, Lewis, anything from yourself, or should we move on?
Not really. I still haven't got a PlayStation VR. Like you started to feel it justifies the purchase, because obviously the arguments with the people saying there's not enough stuff on it. I know you guys both disagree with that, but
yeah. I mean, I've always felt that argument's just ridiculous. There's too much on there, and it's been a me issue. It's like when in a relationship with someone and you break up, and you say it's not me, it's not you, it's me.
It's not me.
It's that with VR. It's not the VR's fault. It's my own fault. And there's been too many games this year. But I'm back now, baby, and I'm looking forward to playing this and then playing Synapse, which is my next game that I'm going to play after I finish this. So. Really looking forward to that, and then I might try Saints and Sinners because we got that on PS Plus as well. So I got some good VR time in front of me while these cold winter months are here. So really looking forward to this, and of course, Alien Rogue, whatever it's called, Rogue Incursion comes out in a couple of weeks. Actually today. So that's that's on the agenda.
If you guys are cool with me trying out your headset at some point, if we ever hang out, I would appreciate that, because I am tempted, but I obviously need to try it first because I think I'll probably get seasick or whatever. I'll probably die. I'll be like,
Yeah, you probably will. It's one of those things you just got to push through it, man. And there's not a feeling like it. Like it's the sickness is just wild, man. Like it's so weird, and it like the nauseous feeling just doesn't go away. It's not like like when you're car sick or whatever, and you get out of the car, walk 5 minutes, you're fine. For me anyway, I found that with VR, whenever I'm nauseous, that's me until I go to sleep. Like I'm nauseous all night. But you gotta take the pain. Gotta take the pain to enjoy the beauty. So that's just the way it is, the way the cookie crumbles. But on that note, let's move it on to the quick news. Quick news.
So, lads, listeners, we have finally made it to the quick news. Now, typically this is Phil's segment of the show. However, he is not here today, so I will be in his stead, I suppose. I will introduce it to you lot. As usual, we'll just be going through little bits of news. We only have one apiece this time. However, over the last run of episodes, we've played a little game of categories for each bit of news. There's only one this time, so it'll only be one game each. But as we have a new ruler, a new leader, a new king.
all hail.
All hail, Davey. It is now his turn to introduce a new game for the quick news segment. So, Davey, I'm going to hand it over to you. What is the game we shall be playing for the next run?
We're going to be doing impressions, right?
Oh,
and we used to do these. We used to do these a while ago. It's been about 30 or 40 episodes
Is it
since
too
we
late for me
last
to
did
pull out the
impressions.
episode?
No, unfortunately it is here. And so we made it quite complicated before, but instead what's going to happen is that whoever begins says their impression to the next person. So for example, Spence, you may say to Lewis, you want to hear an impression of X. Actually, whatever you like. And that's it. And then we just hear it. And then all we're going to do is at the end of it, we're going to vote for the worst impression. And that is going to end in a shot. So we're bringing back an absolute classic to the show. It's only 6 episodes long, this run, before we're doing another quick news. So before we're crowning a new king. So I thought it's a nice little break before we get into a nice 10 rounds of it.
I'm going to have to get on the bed again.
So, and you can do these however you want to do them, lads. So, Spence, we always start with yourself. So I'm going to give you your impression. I've done this accent many a time, but I've never heard your go at it. I would like to hear your West Country farmer accent.
West Country farmer? I don't even really know what that sounds like.
Like a Bristolian, like a proper Bristolian, like a, war. Yeah.
Gotta be up to feed the pigs.
Yes, yeah, exactly right. So I want to hear where you can go with this one, my friend.
All right, Mugger, had a crazy night last night at the pub. And what I did, I walked in, right? And what I had, beer Moretti, £2.60 a pint. Fucking hell. And I thought, what an absolute bargain. And then, as I was outside, drinking his pint, random bloke comes up, fucking 20 quid a bag. Night of my fucking life it was. Obviously, couldn't be out too late. Had to wake up early, feed the pigs. But,
got it.
But, mental one. Mental. I hate this. All right, quick news. So we have a little double up for the quick news. As always, I will be giving you the monthly PS Plus games for Essential, but then we also have the games catalog for December as well. So we have both. I will go through the Essential games first. So the games we have this time around are a fan favorite from the podcast and for the world. Game of the Year winner, 2021. It Takes Two. Phenomenal game. Already talked about. Oh, going to talk about it later on. Maybe.
Travel.
Ooh. Then we also have Aliens Dark Descent. And we have Temtem. Obviously, It Takes Two being the big hitter there. But Aliens Dark Descent being good and Temtem being quite a popular game as well. But we also have the PlayStation Plus games catalog games. And those are as follows. Bear with. Think. Oh fuck! I saw Forspoken.
Yeah, boy.
So the extra and premium games are as follows: we have Sonic Frontiers for the PS4, PS5, Forspoken for the PS5, Rabbids Party of Legends PS4, WRC Generations PS4, PS5, Fist Forged in Shadow Torch PS4, PS5. Forgot about that game. Jurassic World Evolution 2, PS4, PS5. Coffee Talk, PS4, PS5. Coffee Talk Episode 2, Hibiscus and Butterfly, PS4, PS5. A Space for the Unbound, PS4, PS5. Fogs, PS4. And Biped, PS4, PS5. But we're not done yet. We also have the classics for PS Premium, and those are Sly 2, Band of Thieves, Sly 3, Honor Among Thieves, Jak and Daxter, The Precursor Legacy, and Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge for the PSVR 2. That is quite an expansive list of games, lads. Lewis, I'm going to come over to you first. What do you think of this month? Do you think it's a good offering, and are there any standouts for you?
Yeah, it's a really good offering. I was just looking at that, and I was actually thinking I might pick up Sonic Frontiers. I'm not a massive Sonic fan, but I've heard decent things about it. It's supposed to be a really easy, doable platinum, and it's a good open world game. So yeah, I might actually try it out. It is one of the better Sonic games of recent history, so I might give it a shot. Yeah, it's a good lineup, and you do mention It Takes Two later, I guess, but yeah, It Takes Two. Be wanted to play that, so there's that as well. Shame my missus only has an Xbox, so I'm gonna have to try and buy it on Xbox instead. But still, I will. I do want to play It Takes Two.
Beautiful, mate. It's a fantastic game. Sonic Frontiers is supposed to be good as well, but It Takes Two is brilliant. You'll absolutely love it, mate, and hopefully your missus will too. Davey, mate, anything that stands out to you, and what do you think of the month?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the free month, in terms of like essential, it's all right. I mean, It Takes Two definitely is the standout here. You would have thought for me that I'd go for Aliens Dark Descent. It's a real-time strategy game. I'm not about that life. I left that life a long time ago, back in the Age of Empires 2 days on PC, right? When I was a young nipper. I've never gone back, never interested in going back, and even Aliens ain't going to get me down in that fucking dark crevasse. So that ain't happening. Temtem, I'd rather shit my hands and clap. It's fucking playing fucking Pokemon or fucking Temu, right? Like, I'm not interested. I don't care. So for me, It Takes Two. I've already got it on download. And yeah, really looking forward to going back into that game for the 4th time round to see if it sticks. We shall wait and see. But in terms of the things that's actually really interesting here is the extra and premium catalog. And again, I think it's another month where they've just absolutely banged out games here. Sonic Frontiers, I'm really interested in. I don't know why I didn't go for it. I'm a big Sonic fan. I think it was just the kind of time that it was coming out, and I was kind of had a little bit of open world fatigue, and I just wasn't feeling it. These days, though, I think I might jump in, and Forspoken's around the same line, right? We played the demo. The demo wasn't overly appealing, but I wouldn't mind giving it a go. I wouldn't mind giving it a go. It would just need a bit of time.
They fixed
the games
it.
that
I'm
sorry.
I was going to ask, have they fixed Forspoken? Because wasn't it really buggy and broken at launch? Like, is it actually playable now?
Oh god, yeah,
if it is,
yeah.
I might give it. I might have a look.
Yeah, it has been. Yeah, it has been fixed. I think there's definitely better uses of your time, which is the problem, right? Like,
Good way to put it.
you could play it, and I'm sure it would be fine. But that is all you're getting out of it, right? Like, this is a game that me and Spence hyped up for what seemed like years from its first trailer, and that demo showed that it was just a good game. And I'm talking like a 6, 7 out of 10. Yeah, like good. Low good, like passable, like you could play this. It's one of those games that if you got given it when you were a kid, you'd probably learn to love it over 100 hours. But when you've got everything else on your doorstep, let alone the amount of games you've got on a backlog at the minute, very unlikely to get checked out. The game here that I would recommend to people before I go on to the games that I'm actually going to play is Fist, Forged in Shadow Touch. I fucking loved this game. I absolutely loved it. I got the platinum. It's Metroidvania. Absolutely stellar Metroidvania. One of the best I've played in recent years, to be honest with you. The combat is absolutely fantastic. It's brilliant. If you like Metroidvanias, you cannot go wrong. Me and Phil both absolutely loved it. I think I gave it a 9 out of 10 when I played it on launch. It is exceptional. And that is a very, very good use of your time.
I mean, I love a Metroidvania. I was going to say, I love a Metroidvania, and I've not played that, so you've sold it to me. Especially if you said it's a doable platinum, because you said you got the platinum for it. I'm very tempted. I've been in the mood for a Metroidvania, and that might be the one that hits the spot.
Dude, it's immense, and the combat's real good. It's quite challenging. It's got a great parry system. It's fantastic. It's really, really fucking good. The games that are actually standing out to me, and weirdly, this isn't any from the premium edition these days. I mean, I can't go wrong with Sly, but the ones that have really tickled my fancy, and I think you might find this a bit odd, Fogs.
I knew you'd say Fogs. I knew
Fogs, man. Looks great. So this is the write-up for it. You play as a duo of dogs linked by a stretchy belly in a captivating puzzle-filled adventure. You need to bark, bite, and bounce your way through obstacles set across themed worlds of food, sleep, and play. Supporting single-player and shared controller gameplay. You know that's going to be fucking fun, man. It just reminds me of Cat Dog. Do you ever watch that show as a kid?
Yeah.
It's Cat Dog, but 2 dogs. It's just 2 dogs. It's just dog.
Yeah, dog.
I'm all about it. I reckon this looks great. And so does the game underneath that on the blog, Biped. That'll be a fucking load of fun as well. Again, another co-op experience, me and the missus, or Spence if you come round. We can then dive in and we can play some of these. I reckon these are going to be well fun. I love a co-op game, and 2 of them around this time of year for the festive period when you got a bit of extra time off, can't fucking go wrong. So those are 2 that I'm recommending. However, Spence, if you want out of left field, I Googled this. WRC Generations full wheel support, my friend.
Oh.
So you and me could dive in and go into a rally simulator and have a good bit of fun. Couldn't see any VR support, which is a shame.
That's a big
but
shame.
When we got the wheel up and we're playing GT, we could always have a little go on WRC and see what the other side is and see what a pure rally sim is. And I think that would be quite interesting at the very least. So I'm glad to see that here and for it to have that full wheel support. And apparently our wheels are the best ones to use for this game.
Ooh.
So, yes. So very, very good month indeed. Well done, PlayStation, nailing it. What about yourself, Mr. Davis? Where are you going with yours?
With mine, I think, well, Sonic Frontiers, I don't give a shit. I'm an outlier with you boys. I've seen enough gameplay of it. I've watched a lot of videos on it. It's a bit too big for me. I'm all right, and I'm just not as big a Sonic guy as I used to be. I want a Sonic Generations. That's what I want. That's my kind of Sonic game. That is not it at all. I don't want no open world fucking Sonic. Forspoken as well, mate. I'm not fucking touching Forspoken. You could get right off. Mate, even if you forget, it was like a 6 out of 10, but then it came down because your arm doesn't shut the fuck up.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that fucking gauntlet.
Mate, we only played a demo and it was pissing me off. I am not fucking getting close to that full game. There's not a chance. Fist, I played on launch with you and Phil, but it didn't gel with me as it did for you boys. I know you got the platinum and Phil completed it. I didn't mind it. It just wasn't for me, so I won't revisit it. The games that I will be playing on this list, Fogs is definitely one there. And it's got online, mate. It's got online co-op.
Does it?
It does, mate. So, who knows? Maybe we'll dive into that.
Fogs, mate.
Fogs.
2 Helldivers, let's play Fogs.
Let's play fucking Fogs. Dog, baby. But then the other ones I want to check out. A Space for the Unbound. A slice of life adventure game with beautiful pixel art. That looks very cute. See how long it is. If it's a short experience, I think I'll enjoy that. And then the 2 that I'm definitely going to be playing are the Coffee Talk games. Coffee Talk and Coffee Talk Episode 2, because I already know they are very easy and very short platinums. So I will be doing, hopefully, both the Coffee Talks if they're good. And I've heard they are quite good. They're just like dialogue games. You run a coffee shop and you speak to customers, and that is basically it. But they're nice, enjoyable platinums and great palette cleansers. So they're going to be on my list. I won't play them soon, but for downtime in between big titles, I think they'll be perfect for that.
Well, I just Googled it for you on Platinum Watch. Space for the Unbound is currently sitting there with a 4 out of 10 difficulty, 1 playthrough, 10 hours.
Oh,
nice.
Nice.
Lovely.
Beautiful. And the Coffee Talk Platinums, I already know. I'll do a quick Google. A 2 out of 10, 1 playthrough, 2 hours.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. And Coffee Talk.
Downloading it now.
Episode 2. Coffee Talk Episode 2 is a... Bear with. Oh, it doesn't say there, but it's got 50% people got the platinum, so it's going to be the same fucking thing.
Just to put more fuel on the fire for Dog in Fogs. 3 out of 10. 3 to 5 hour play. We're playing Dog, bro.
What a
I'm getting
month!
4 platinums before the end of the year. Let's go.
What a fucking dream, boys! Oh, great month. Thank you, PlayStation. What a fantastic time. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, best month we've had in years. Cheers. Fucking beautiful. All right, with that, let's move it round. Who's next?
So you'll be throwing it over to Lewis.
All right, Lewis,
Bollocks.
swinging quick news round to you. Seeing as you've been playing it recently and it's your big game at the moment, I want to hear your best indie impression. Indiana Jones.
Jesus Christ. Okay. You have to ask me to do impressions when I got a chest infection. Just put that out there.
I wasn't
annoying.
I didn't create this.
No,
mate.
I'm
Blame
talking about
Davey.
Davey. I'm looking at you,
Yeah.
Davey. I know you can't tell
Sorry.
because we're in the boxes. How dare you? It belongs in a museum. Why is it
I wasn't ready. I
Why
don't know
is
why I
it
took a
snakes?
glass of water. I don't know why I took a sip at the time, at the exact moment.
Ah, snakes! Why is there always snakes? That's all I can figure. So quick news. Control freedom with Space Earth, Super Earth, whatever. In Helldivers 2. With the Helldivers 2 limited edition dual shock sense. The PS5 control. This one. But the Helldivers.
It's just like Phil read it.
Yeah, getting the Xbox guy on. He's using all the wrong things. You could go in there, press your left bumper, right bumper, your black button, your white button. It's gonna be a great old time.
Why am I from?
I don't know why you're from the West Country now. I don't know why. But
Wacky.
we've all had a chance to have a little look at this handset. Lewis, as you read this news out, what do you feel about this Helldivers 2 limited edition DualSense? Is this one that potentially may be going onto your collection when it launches on February 6th?
Yeah, I've been needing to get a second DualSense for a very long time. This might be the one. I was really interested in the Astrobot one and the PS1, like the retro controllers, and I couldn't get either of those. If I get this Helldivers one, I'd probably get it. It looks pretty nice. Yeah, I mean, I got like 6 Xbox controllers, and I've only got one DualSense. So
Wow.
I need a second DualSense. So yeah, I think the Helldivers one seems like reasonable. Only issue is it really expensive? I don't know the price we're talking. What kind of price are we talking here?
So it's coming in. I'll be able to tell you right now. Bear with me just a moment.
I've got it if you want.
Oh yeah, please,
yeah.
Spence.
There we are. So the price for this controller is $84.99, €84.99, or £74.99.
Well,
Quite
that's very
expensive for a controller.
Yeah.
Going on the pricey side. The big thing I'd say is that with one of these, you know it's going to go in a heartbeat, right? So it all depends on what you want to do with it. If you want to keep it and use it, which is what I would like to do, great, go for it. I mean, it's a fucking awesome looking handset. And for me, the things I love about it is the skull on the touchpad, peng, having Helldivers 2 written on the back, fucking nice, right? It's cool. And it means that when your PS5 comes to the end of its days, you could put that on a little stand, put it up, and it just looks cool, right? Like, that's what I'm doing with my God of War 1. They just look cool, right? There is that. If you want to be crafty with it, then you just fucking don't do anything with it, and you sell that fucker on. Because you know that's gonna sell out so fast, man. And I'm kicking myself every day when my son boots up Astro and I get to see that Astro controller in game. And I think, fuck me, I should have bought it.
Do you know what DualSense I wish I bought now?
Which
the
one?
Concord one. The Concord one would be that's going to be so rare. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was. There was a Concord DualSense came out.
Oh, I remember it. Oh, fuck, 350 quid on eBay.
Yeah.
Having that game on disc would be fucking nice now. Yeah, that'd be a nice one to have. Yeah, it really would, especially
RIP.
like in mint. Yeah. But hey ho. Spence, you and me own too many DualSenses, but is this one tempting your bank account just a little bit?
No, not at all. Actually, I don't like this controller. I know it's a bit of a shock. I love Helldivers 2. It's all right. I think the only thing I really like about it is that the buttons say what they do in game. So like circle says dive, square says weapon reload and weapon set. Comms on triangle, you got the stratagem inputs on the left. That's really cute. I like that a lot. Other than that, I'm really not that fussed. I don't know why. I feel the same as I did for like the Spider-Man controller. It's just I want something more. Like the Astros one feels like a premium handset, whereas this looks like a sticker on a normal DualSense to me.
Oh man,
I kind of get what you're saying with that. Actually, I mean, it's not like a wild design. It's kind of basic, but I still like it for what it is, for sure.
yeah.
I get
I
what
mean,
you're saying, Spence, for sure. I get that.
I think for me, this has just missed the boat a little bit.
Yeah.
I think if this was being announced at the same time as Helldivers 2 being out,
Oh, yeah.
I would have got it. I didn't have my DualSense Edge at that point. I would have probably gone for this, and it would have kicked the DualSense Edge down the road. But now I got my DualSense Edge. I'm good at the minute, and that's the reason why I didn't go for the Astro. So I think I think for me, I'm going to miss it. But I do really like this design. I think it sings to me, but I love a black pad. So to me, it's just a black pad, but bejazzled, and I'm all about it. Or pedazzled. Are we enjoying it? No, it didn't work, did it? But no, I really like this one. But 2 out of 3. It's not the best. It's certainly not the best looking pad, but it's nowhere near the worst. So they're doing all right with these pads. They're doing all right, and they're taking enough on money as it goes. But should we move it on to the final bit of quick news for this evening? And Lewis, do you want to chuck me my just desserts and chuck me my my impression?
So I had a thought. I'm worried this might degrade into a little bit of a racist voice, but we're going to try it anyway.
Gosh. Okay,
Yeah.
Here we go then.
I would like to hear your impression of Hideo Kojima.
Speaking English or Japanese?
Whatever you prefer. Whatever floats your boat, my friend.
Bit of both, mate.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, he just found out that Jeff Keighley's his friend, and he's really shocked about the whole thing.
Okay, all right. Welcome to the stage, Hideo Kojima. Woo! Dozo gozaimasu. Hideo Kojima desu. And then he just goes, "Welcome to Death Stranding 2." There you go. That's what you're getting. That's what you're getting. And that is my most respectful Japanese accent I could do. It wasn't over the top. It wasn't like a Godzilla, like a Godzilla. It wasn't anything like that. I was only doing that for just to say it could have been worse. I was trying to be respectful for the man, as he is a savant, and he did make my favorite game of all time. So, thank you ever so much, Kojima-san. Hi, Kojima. Quick news. So, first off, I got a little bit of sad news, but I don't think it's very surprising, to be honest. I don't think we'll spend too long on this, but I would like to pick your brain on it a little bit, Spence. First off, I've got a Ubisoft double whammy for us here today. Ubisoft is officially discontinuing X-Defiant in 2025 and plans to shut down its production studios in San Francisco and Osaka. Bad news bears for anyone who is loving X-Defiant. Now, Spence, you and me dove into X-Defiant in its beta and came out with very different impressions. I was quite negative on the entire thing. I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was anything like the potential COD killer that people were faming that it could be. And I felt that it never really, when it came to its full launch, never really found its potential because the feel always just felt off. It always felt like budget COD. And that wasn't the kind of experience that I was looking for when COD is there. Especially when you got free-to-play COD in Warzone. Right, it's just got a fucking hard hill to forge on. But if I remember rightly, you quite enjoyed X-Defiant. So has this news made you feel any particular way?
I did quite enjoy X-Defiant. However, you'll notice I never continued to play it. And that's because ultimately it was B-Tech Call of Duty. I did like it mostly just because I was good at it. same as anything else. But if I'm picking that or COD any day, it's Call of Duty. And if a new COD releases, which it just did you expect different news from X Defiant? I suppose no one's playing it because it wasn't the COD killer, and it never could have been. It was a joke to ever say that it was, and I think we agreed that at the time. There was no one's killing COD. It's unkillable. It's like someone bringing out a new free roam story role playing game and being like the GTA killer, and you'd be like, yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, sure.
yeah. It doesn't surprise me, but it is saddening news. I saw the post when they did this, and there were some people saying, "I love X Defiant. I can't believe this is happening," and all they could really do is thank those people. But it is a shame, and they're actually being quite respectful of it. They're giving the people who paid for like the premium pass and everything full refunds.
Oh, that's nice.
And everyone's getting everything back.
That's really good.
Yeah,
Well,
it is a
really
damn
good.
shame, but not. People haven't been robbed out their money or anything. It's still not the worst, but it is a shame to see it go.
What about yourself, Lewis? Did you have any? Did you ever play X Defiant? Oh, we played a little bit
we
together.
played it
Didn't
together, mate. Yeah.
we? Yeah, we did. Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's all right. I downloaded it on the PlayStation and the Xbox and the ROG Ally because it was free. I played it quite a bit. Not for that long. I think I played it for like the first month or so it was out. I enjoyed it. I mean, we're saying it's a COD killer. It doesn't really feel like COD to me. It's almost like Overwatch kind of thing because you've got like classes and stuff and different like play styles and stuff like that. I don't know. I enjoyed it, and then also with Overwatch, you have the train, or even Team Fortress 2, you have the train game where you got to move it back and forth, and that was the main multiplayer mode of X Defiant, at least when I was playing it anyway. So to me, it felt more like Overwatch. I enjoyed it plenty. Yeah, it's not a game that stuck with me though. I would have made if like you guys were like, "Hey, guys, do you want to play some X Defiant?" I would have been like, "Yeah, sure, I'll play a little bit." But it's not really something that stuck with me. I mean, it's not something I've been craving to go back to. It's kind of sad to see all these multiplayer games like just shutting down. Yeah, I mean, this is the year for shutting down multiplayer servers like really quick. Um, yeah, it's a bit of a bummer. I would have liked to have played a little bit more of it, but it is what it is, I suppose. Call of Duty's there, as you've said. Overwatch is there. There's so many shooters you can play. I'm a Halo guy. I'm probably going to end up playing that if I want to play a multiplayer shooter. So, there's plenty of other options. Unfortunately, and it didn't really make its mark.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's a very crowded market, and you've got to come out swinging. And I feel like it just never made that right first impression for me to be able to get me through the door. Like, I'll never forget the first time I played Apex, and it just felt so clean and so polished straight away, and it just felt right. And this just always felt like there was something missing, like something like a patch or two could really fix it. And I never went back to be able to find out if that was ever the case. And I guess that's because of the gameplay there. Something was just missing, and when you got better alternatives, it's the sad reality of the market. It didn't do anything overly unique, and when you got to compete with the big boys, you got to put on your big boy pants. And I feel it just never quite was able to do that.
I can't remember the exact statistics, but there was a thing that came out like not that long ago saying that most people, like 60% of people, are playing games that are over a year old. Like they play, like a lot of people just playing. They've got their live service game of choice, and they'll just stick to that. So most people, like as you said, Spence, it's just Call of Duty. If there's a Call of Duty out, you're not going to go and play X Defiant. I go, as I said just now, I stick to Halo. That's all I play if I play anything multiplayer. And I think most people are in that kind of camp. It's very hard to like start a new franchise and try and get people on board, like jumping ship, because when people are kind of comfortable and they just stick to what they know, I suppose. I mean, that's why the Fortnites and Call of Duties and Apexes of the world are so popular because people just stick with them.
Exactly, man. It is the way. It's just the way the world works, man. And when you got games to which are pumping out the content and doing a good job, why would you want to switch? It's like the same way that we played Dead by Daylight, and there's loads of contenders that come out for that every single year. It was like an Evil Dead game, it's a fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. None of them can do the do because they're all missing one of the key parts. They try and make themselves distinct from the game that's leading the market, and that game that leads the market is leading the market for a reason, because it just kind of nails it. So it's a hard thing to be able to go in and really revolutionize and make yourself stand out. But enough on XDefiant, and again, rip. I feel bad for them. It just is what it is. This is the more interesting part of Ubisoft news that I want to talk to you guys about. I thought this was amazing. Right, Assassin's Creed Shadows will have an option to play the game on Canon mode. Confirmed by Game Director, this allows you to play the game with choices already made for you, to give you a choice-free experience in the real canon that will be in the game. So Assassin's Creed, in later entries, has multi kind of branching pathing stories, and you can kind of pick and choose and don't know which ending's real. Whereas this then gives you an option to be able to take all that choice away from you and say, this is the gameplay experience that we want. Now, when I saw this, I thought, I bet there's somebody who would like this kind of thing. What do you think about this game mode, Spencer? And is this something that you would welcome in more experiences?
What a fucking dream, mate. I hate making decisions. I hate it. I want a game to say, oh, go yeah. Oh, sound, on my way, mate. On my way. You ain't got to tell me twice. I'll be there now. Class. I mean, I imagine the choices weren't going to be massive choices anyway, or completely changing everything in the game. But yeah, it's quite nice. And some games do kind of need this, because there are some games where life is strange, if you will. The sequel that they've released might not make sense if you played it a certain way. And now, I'm not sure how much the Assassin's Creed games follow on from each other now as compared to when they used to. But really, the creators have created this story for you, and there's a perfect way to play that game. Usually, they're just giving it to you. That's nice. That's nice. And I think it helps with replayability as well, because people will play this with their own choices, freedom, and then think, right, how was it supposed to be played? And do it again. It's nice. It adds that level to it, which I would just play it with the choices off myself once, except it's Assassin's Creed, so I'm not even going to fucking do that. But it's nice. It's just a nice little extra option for people who don't want those decisions.
I thought exactly the same as you. I thought that it just harkens back to what the series used to be, in terms of it just being a experience and you play through it, and just a story that unfolds and you're along for the ride. And I think for older school Assassin's Creed fans, they'll probably welcome something like this. Like the game's very much a case of you just get missions, you go and do them, and fucking great, you're along for the ride. Whereas newer people who want that more RPG elements in their Assassin's Creed, they've got that option too. So I think it's kind of killing two birds for the price of one, really, and you can just pick how you want to experience the game. But I thought it was really interesting, and it is something that in a lot of games where you get choices, you always wonder and Google after, what is the canon? You know, like, what is the right way? And it's normally only in a sequel that you find out which one is canon, whereas they then can very much be like, this is the canon, and you can play it through. And I really quite like that idea. But Lewis, you seem you seem on the other side of the fence on this one.
I mean, it's nice that it's there for an option. Options are always great, but I don't know, man. It's taking something away from what makes a video game, right? You're removing interactivity. It's just turning it more and more into a movie, you know? If I wanted to watch a movie, I'd watch a movie. I mean, I'm all about the gameplay, me, and all about like making like a game, you know? It's you know, that's my only negative side about it, but I can see why people might like it. Me personally, I would not use it. I would just play the game out the way I'd want to play it. Yeah, I don't like the idea of just getting a controller and sitting there for 10 minutes watching a cutscene and just doing nothing. I like to have some kind of interactivity. Uh, like there are some cinematic games I like, but the vast majority of them I prefer gameplay over cinema, over that kind of stuff, and having options of choice at least gives you something to do or something to think about. So I'm on the fence. I'm not sold on it. It wouldn't. It's not something I would use, but it's nice it's there for people like Spence. For sure.
I suppose that's the thing about it, isn't it? Is that, as you said, it just gives options, right? And options are always good. And I think at least then people can make their mind up. I mean, for me, I really love a nice cinematic experience. You know, I'll quite happily sit there. If there was choices in my Metal Gear, would I like that? No. When there's choices in Assassin's Creed, turns out there's a reason why I haven't been playing Assassin's Creed for such a long time. As soon as it went all RPG, it fucking lost me, right? I liked going in there, and I am my own worst enemy because I say this, and they gave me an Assassin's Creed last year, which is exactly what I want. And did I buy it? No. But that is mostly because it's got a lot of competition, and I'm out of the Assassin's Creed drug that infected me for a fucking whole console generation, and I played every single one annually for like fucking 10 years. All right? I'm out. I'm on fucking rehab from Assassin's Creed, and I can't dip my toes back in, even though this gives me everything I want. A nice Japanese setting, which I asked for back on PS3. Give me that. It's give me a fucking Canon mode, which I would enjoy. Ticking all these boxes.
Play as a woman, which I know you love.
I don't normally play as a woman, but I got the choice that I could play as a woman. What will the canon be?
Oh, I was literally about to say that. Maybe you don't.
I think in the which one is it? The ancient Rome one? I can't remember what it's called.
Oh
now.
yeah. The Greece one.
I think the canon one was the
Greece.
woman. I think the woman one was the canon story, if I remember correctly, from what I've heard. So she's the canon character, and the guy isn't. So it might be the same.
That's one way to cause some outrage with some fucking nerdling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Make sure that the canon one, they're like, yes, canon, click it, woman.
But I might be.
No!
I'm going to contradict myself a little bit because my favorite Assassin's Creeds are Assassin's Creed 2 and 4. And like 2's probably one of my favorite games of all time. I love that game. So like that game didn't really have options. So, you know, what am I talking about at that point? Because those are better games. They're much better. The new Assassin's Creeds I'm not really into at all, to be honest. I want to be into them, but nah, they're too clunky and too bloated. So I don't know, maybe I'm
too many
full
choices,
of shit.
Mate.
Too much choice. Yeah, cut
I'm
that
full of
choice
shit.
out, mate. What you want to do is you want to put your arms up and go into servitude, and those choices are robbed from you. And it's like so many times they always say the thing that's bringing you down is free will. As soon as you give up your free will, you'll be happier. And maybe these bad guys are on to something, you know?
It's true, bro. I'm just what I'm saying. I love my linear games. I love them. Give me some choices. Miserable.
Yeah. Did I make the right one?
I don't give a shit about that. I just don't want to do it.
Oh, well, you just don't want to click the button.
Nah, fuck it. Just tell me what to do. Don't ask me.
I don't know what to do. I've been stuck here for hours. At least in like The Walking Dead and shit like that, if you do nothing, that's also a choice as well.
Yeah.
So you got crippling anxiety from those.
I mean, the thing that gets me the most is when you play. It's like it's not really a choice, but I want to 100% some games, and I'm like, I can't play this. I don't want to play this game because I don't want to have to go back and find all the collectibles and all that, and that's like an extra thing to do. So I in some ways I prefer if it's just linear, just so I can just know I've done everything and I'm not missing anything. That annoys the shit out of me. It's like, oh yeah, you would have got the platinum if you did this one thing 2 hours into your playthrough, but you can't do it now, so bye. That does annoy the shit out of me. So yeah, so there is that as well. You turn me.
Yeah, he's making a lot of cases for this linear gameplay here, Spence. I think, you know, if we were to keep this going,
first the vagina to a micro penis to a vagina. Now is this? It's all coming full circle.
We're very convincing, my friend. You know, imagine if we weren't running a PlayStation podcast, and we were doing something that actually had a bit of meaning, you know, and we could really just start influencing the youth. That's the worrying thing, right?
Crypto podcast.
Yes, mate. Yeah. Start doing that. Davey Dollars. Davey Dollars. Get your Davey Dollars in now. It's about to surge, boys. You want to get in now, you know, before the surge.
The potato pesos, let's go.
Potato pesos. Well, there you go. Well, with that brings our quick news to a close. A nice short and sweet one today. It is the Christmas break after all, and there is the Game Awards, which we'll be discussing later in the show, which had a lot of news. So we will be leaving it there, but it's time to vote for the best and the worst impressions. The best gets nothing, just a little bit of praise. The worst gets a shot in the dark. Now, Lewis, you are representing Big Man Phil here on this one. So any negatives do go directly towards Phil's shot count, which we'll go into episode 110. So, Spence, I'm going to leave it up to you first. Give me your best and give me your worst.
It's not really vogue to vote for yourself as the best. However, I am torn between which of yours was the worst. So I think I'm going to have to give myself the best. Because that's just the way it's going to have to go. And you boys could use that to influence your decisions if you want. But I'd rather, you kept it professional and stuck to your guns.
So it's okay for you to do it, but not us to do it. I get it.
Nah, you can say yours are the best if you think yours are the best. That's fine. But don't just start shitting on mine because I thought it was better than yours, That's the way it goes.
I'm gonna go next. Sorry, Lewis. And my favourite. We're doing our favourites first. My favourite is Lewis's of tonight. You made me spit my water out. I was not expecting.
That was funny.
And it wasn't even that good. It was actually a pretty bad Indiana Jones, but I enjoyed it the most. And so that's why it gets my vote for today as the best.
Respect.
Oh, thank you. I don't know who to pick out. Because I appreciate the Bristol one. I thought it was really good towards the end, but I also kind of appreciate that Davey did the Hideo Kojima without making it too racist. I do appreciate that. it was pretty funny. I was cracking up. No, I'm gonna give it to Spence. I think it was a good farmer. Good farmer accent.
Hell yeah.
Considering you didn't have a clue at first, you eventually got around to it. It worked eventually. It was good. The final product.
I was lost at the start. I had no idea what to do. I had to relate it to Brandon. That's all I had to do.
Well, it paid off because you got the best one of tonight. So well done. Of course, that means absolutely fuck all. So now we move on to the worst. Who had the worst one of tonight? Spence, again, throwing it over to you. I'm going to give you first choice here. Who was your worst of the evening?
I want to give it to Lewis because it just means Phil gets a shot, but
we could play a game.
We could play the game. Really good.
We could play the game.
And Phil would be pissed.
He would, yeah.
Oh, but I don't think you're going to agree with me because I'm first. I think if I give it to Lewis now, you're going to fuck me in a minute.
I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
I don't.
So what I'm going to do, as much as Davey, your impression of a Japanese man was okay, it wasn't really Kojima. It was just Japanese and not great Japanese. So I'm just going to have to give it to you, mate.
All right. That's fair. I understand. Lewis, over to yourself. Where are you going on this one?
I liked both your impressions, guys, honestly. And,
no need to be nice here, mate.
Yeah, it's honestly true. I actually like both of them. I thought they were really funny. They both cracked me up, to be fair. I don't know. Should I be mean to Phil and just vote for myself? I could do that.
You could. That would make it quite interesting.
Also, maybe a bit of a bitch.
Well, you said it, mate. You said it, not me.
Yeah. No, Davey, I really enjoyed your impression. I thought it was really funny. But I'm going to agree with Spence. It was just Japanese man. It wasn't really Kojima.
Oh,
as much as I loved it and it made me laugh, I'm sorry. I feel bad, but yeah, I had to pick.
Wow. Well, that is one shot in the dock for me. So I go into episode 110 already, one shot to go, which is not a good start. I would have voted Spence. If you'd voted for Lewis, I would have followed.
Would you have?
100%.
Oh, I thought 100%. Never. Mate, I thought
we can just get Phil and get a little dig on him. Because you don't listen to the show back. When you're not here... Well, actually, to be fair, we don't even game it, Lewis. You're just not very good on categories.
No, I'm shit at categories. I'm not gaming. I say I'm gaming it because I want to show face. But I'm just shit. I'm saying I'm doing it on purpose, but I really am bad. I'm sorry, Spence. I did try, honestly.
All good, bro. All good.
Well, I would have played the game, but unfortunately the game played me. I was not the player today. I was the loser. And that is the way the cookie crumbles. And so, on that bombshell, we shall move it on to the topic. Stop! Topic time! And here we are with the topic, and today's topic is an absolute juicer. It is, of course, the Game Motherfucking Awards. And we are going to be talking through it the only way we know how, by putting them into categories which are kind of like the way we like our women. You can marry, you can shag, and you can kill them. Shouldn't kill them, though. We don't condone killing of women on this show. There is always that possibility, though. And, a wartime scenario, different. A marital scenario, maybe not. So that's why you got to choose your marries properly, lads. We don't want to be killing anyone we're married to, do we? We got to make sure we pick the right brides. And that is what this is all about. And we have been joined by the fine wine himself, Mr. Philip Hoy, dialing in all the way from the US of A. How the devil are you, my friend?
Ahoy hoy, how we doing guys? All right. Been missing you on my holiday. I'm over in sunny Orlando at the moment with the family, enjoying it, drinking, going out for nice meals, just, chilling. I needed this after this year. It's been a very, very busy year for me. So I just needed those 2 weeks to chill, and I've achieved that.
Well done, mate. Well, I am looking forward to your return, but I'm glad you're going to enjoy your holiday. And of course, we get to hear your angelic voice even from across the world. The wonders of the internet, eh? What will they think of next? Absolutely insane, this all the internet stuff. But we're going to kick it off, first off, before we go into our Shag Marries and our Kills, we're going to kick it off with our thoughts on the conference itself. So, Spence, I'm going to come across to you. We normally start with like a top-level thought on how we feel about it and a rating. And I think from there, what we'll do is we'll go around the circle. So we'll go from yourself to Lewis to Phil to me. So over to you, Spence. Kick us off. What's your opening thoughts?
Sure. So for the Game Awards, I didn't watch them in their full sense, let's say. I kind of chucked on the full stream and then kind of just flicked through all the fodder because that's just the way I kind of, unless I'm watching it live, I'm going to flick through it. So what I really saw was some select awards being awarded and all of the reveals. I didn't skip any reveals. Maybe one or two because they were a bit... But I thought it ran really well. I thought the presentation was really well. I thought Sydney looked damn great this year. She looks better every year. It's great all times. But I just thought it ran really well. All the entertainment was good. The shows were good. I very much enjoyed what I saw. I would give it, as a rating, 7 out of 10. With room to grow, I think, actually, as well.
Wow, 7 out of 10. How does that compare to previous years? Is that a slight improvement, or is that around the same level as you would have given the last couple of years?
I think it's a slight improvement because I always knock it down for the Muppets. I can't fucking stand them. But they were actually quite funny this year. Because it was just, they were a bit, it wasn't like so entwined with Jeff chatting to him. It was a bit more, they just did their own little bits. And that was it. And I appreciated that. And they had a fun little remark with Kojima and Jeff. That's it. Other than that, yeah, I fucking hate them. But this year was better.
Yeah, you're very anti-Muppet, aren't you? Very is there like a racist term for like hating Muppets? I don't know. But if there is, you're definitely one of those, right? You just detest them with every fibre of your being. Somebody who I imagine enjoys the Muppets is Lewis. Are you a fan of Muppets? And on that same note, give me your thoughts on the show.
I mean, the Muppets were the best part of the awards, to be fair. They were hysterical, just ripping into everything. Apart from the announcements, obviously. I meant, of the actual award part. I don't know, top level, this is the best Game Awards that Jeff Keighley's ever done, I think. He didn't have people rushing through their speeches and saying, wrap it up on the screen. He was took a bit more time with the awards and stuff. But then it's still not quite there. If you want a proper gaming awards, you go watch the DICE Awards. If you want something a proper, about gaming and, what actually games should matter. But as, a spectacle, this is, best it could really be at the moment. I don't know. I still feel like they should give more time to, some of the other awards. And then maybe cut out the esports stuff, because no one cares about the esports stuff. Apart from Phil. You can. All right. You're the two people in the world I have heard about care about the esports. I don't know anyone else who cares about it. I thought that I was the only one who thought. Anyway, I feel like there's some needless awards. I feel like they maybe should have a DLC of the year award. The categories are a bit off. It was better than it was last year, and probably the best one Jeff's done, but it's still not perfect. It's still got a lot of some edges to move off. I would agree with Spencer. I would say probably a 7. I would probably give it a 7. The announcements are great, to be fair. If it was just announcements, I would have probably given it a 10. If it was just announcements and no awards, then probably... Or 9, wow. I don't know. It was pretty good. It was pretty stacked.
I'll be looking forward to hearing your Shag Marries and Kills in just a few moments. But let's bring it on to the main man himself. Mr. Philip Hoy, you and me watched it live together. It was 3 o'clock, 20 past 4 when it ended over here in UK time, and I had to be up at 7. So that day was rough, and it was fucking mental. But for yourself, it was probably, 12 o'clock in the afternoon? I mean, how did you find the whole viewing experience, especially being over Discord with yours truly?
Well, it was 7:30 here, and I had a pack of beers next to me, which we went through. during the Game Awards, which made it better, of course. And being on Discord, having a bit of chat with you and your missus, it was quite an entertaining time. A little bit of back and forth, a little bit of building the hype, especially when he was dangling the carrot over a certain announcement, which actually didn't happen, Half-Life 3. Whatever happened to that? I was hoping for Half-Life 3. Damn him.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you were living a pipe dream with Half-Life 3, if I'm honest with you. And you started getting me believing in it. Because I thought the thought hadn't even entered my mind. And it was just that moment we were kind of hyping ourselves up throughout it, being like, but what if? What if it's there?
Yeah, for sure. There was loads of time throughout the show where he kind of dangled that carrot, as I said, and there was quite a few big names that he missed out. Obviously, we didn't hear from Death Stranding 2. We didn't hear about the Wolverine, not to give away the show for people that didn't see it, but there was no announcements for that. Of course, it would have been all over Twitter if we had seen anything from Death Stranding or Wolverine, and we didn't get Half-Life 3. But all through the show, I just thought we were getting closer and closer, and there was a bit in there, wasn't there, where he paused. And he said this was going to define gaming moving forward. And I thought, oh my God, it's actually going to happen. And then it was a Capcom game instead.
Yeah, it's a big deal, right? Akami 2. It is a big deal. But it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's cool. And I like Akami as much as the next guy, right? I think I've had it free on every fucking console known to man, because it was given on PS3 for free, had it on PS4 for free, and I'm sure the PS5 is fine. It's a great game, but yeah, I don't think it. I think there were some bigger deals here than that, which was the weird thing.
I think the reason they hyped it up so much is because the original director's back as well, because they thought he said he left Capcom, but now he's back, because they made a big deal about that as well. But I agree with the Okami stuff. I forgot to mention as well that Xbox were teasing something little. And everyone was like, oh my God, they're going to show the portable console, the Xbox Portable. I'm so excited. Everyone was so hyped. Turns out they were just talking about a project they're doing with Luke Littler, the darts player. No one gives a shit. I was like, wow, thanks, Xbox. Wow. You're really going to announce that just before the Game Awards and get us all hyped about fuck all. What is wrong with you? But yeah, sorry, I interrupted your segment.
I mean, Xbox just know how to miss that bullseye, don't they? Keeping it on the darts analogy. They just fucking sky it every single time. Like, oh, let's get the bullseye lined up. We got some fucking crack at it. Oh, it's coming to PS5. Oh, there we go. Ooh, have it in 3 months. They just fucking, it's gone. Fucking woo. Every single time they get an opportunity. And now, darts. Brilliant. Absolutely love it. But back to yourself, Mr. Toy.
Well, that said about the show, because I was putting it down a little bit because there was a few big names that we expected at the show, such as Death Stranding and Wolverine. We really expected those to happen. They were some of our early predictions, which we don't get to hand out a shot in a later quiz. But that said, the show was great. I had a ball. And partly because of the time we spent together over Discord having a chat. And of course, the viewers and the listeners were all welcome. We were in an open channel. They could have joined us at any time. So I'm going to jump straight into a rating. I'm 8 out of 10 for this show. And I think it really reflects the type of year we've had. And it was one of the remarks that we made over Discord, wasn't it? That we're kind of like good-ish year. There's lots of kind of games, but nothing truly defining that come out. There was no Half-Life 3 that really defined the year, was there, last year? So I think an 8 out of 10 year with an 8 out of 10 Game Award. As I said, there were some lovely surprises along the way, which we'll talk about a little later. And I like the way the show focused a bit more on the devs this time round, because I think that was a criticism from a previous year. And they didn't start playing music over the speeches, as Lewis pointed out. And I thought that was great, because that was absolutely terrible. And I think now, moving forward on the podcast, we need that. We need that as a button. So as soon as Davey goes on one of his rants, we can start playing music over it to kind of fade him out, to move the podcast on. Or maybe you'd start doing it over me right now. But I love the Muppets. Start turning up the music. Sadler and Waldorf, that was incredible. Every time they came on, I was in fits of laughter. I found them absolutely hilarious. And I think they complemented the show because they actually put Jeff down, which was great, right? They didn't build him up so he could tell a joke or sing a song, which he actually didn't in the end. They put him down continuously. And I found it hilarious. Jeff and Sydney, they did a great job. And as Spencer said, Sydney looked great. So yeah, 8 out of 10 show for me.
You guys all coming in pretty consistent here. 8, 7s. I'm going to buck the trend a little bit. I reckon this is a 9 out of 10. I reckon this is one of the best gaming conferences I've ever seen. I really do. I think that, for a 3-hour show, it didn't lose me at all. Like, there was things that didn't speak to me, of course. You know, and we'll get into those in our kill list. But this was the most entertained I've ever been from a Summer Game Fest or a Game Awards, hands down. And I think it was a few key changes, which you guys have picked up on a few of them. But I think one of the main ones, which I think has been a bit overlooked by Twitter and everyone else, there wasn't the cutaway. Like, I'll give you an example. Last year's, right? It'd be a case of, they'd be like, wow, wasn't that a fantastic showcase? And if you want to have yourself a fantastic feast, why don't you use Domino's 50 to get 50% off of Domino's? There was none of that bollocks. It was very professional the entire way. And it was just every time there was a chance to lose it with something, they just maintained the course, either by cutting to the Muppets, having a bit of a laugh, or just giving the devs the chance to have like that emotional kind of breakdown moment to be able to get their speech out and to have that extra 3 or 4 minutes to be able to say the piece that's really moving to them before it moves on. And it just didn't feel like as if, fuck me, this is harsh, which the last one did. The last one was horrific because we had like Japanese people come out. They'd be like, oh, dozo yoraimasu. And they'd be like, hello, thank you for coming. And they'd be like, dozo, do, 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 do. And they're just fucking off. Like after they said like 3 things, thank you, and just go, right? Like, there was none of that. It was all really, everyone took their time. And there was a lot of celebrity cameos, but like none of them were as bad as like Anthony Mackie was last year or anyone else where they come out and they're just fucking cringy and you're thinking, why the fuck are they here? Everyone there had a purpose to be there. And there were some odd things like when they had the Fallout guys come up and say thank you for everything. The lead actress didn't say a word, which I thought was a bit weird. But overall, it flowed. And I think when you combine that, and a award ceremony is fucking dry, right? Mega dry by kind of design. The Oscars fucking horrifically dry. DICE Awards exactly the same, mega fucking dry. To make that engaging throughout the entire experience and combine that with some fucking insane game announcements, which I never would have saw coming in a million years, you're onto a fucking winner. I don't think there's anything they really could have done much better here. I don't know what a 10 out of 10 looks like, but it's giving me hope that next year they could probably dial something to make it that much better. I don't know what it is, because I think this is the best it can possibly be. And I'm going to give it full props for that and give it 9 out of 10.
Half-Life 3, mate. That's how you get the 10 out of 10.
Maybe, mate, yeah.
PS6. Just randomly announced PS6. Like, what?
Yeah, maybe it's where they come out, they're like, and they're like, oh, one more thing. Resistance is back. Like, maybe it needs that. And then after that, you know, they come out and they're like, oh, wasn't that amazing? Just like, wasn't that amazing? They're like, yeah, nearly as good as this. And then it's just like another thing. What the hell? Metal Gear Solid 1 being remade by Kojima? Shit! Like, you know, like, like maybe it needs that to be the 10. But, you know, and then you're like, oh, thank God that's over. Oh, I don't think I can take any more. And then Gabe just walks out. Half-Life 3, baby. Next year. Out now. Oh, fuck. You know, like, maybe that's what it needs for the 10. But
just watching what Davey wants, like his wish list. It's like, right, what else can we announce? just to give Davey to get us a 10 out of 10.
Give us a 9 next year.
Everyone else is like, what? Resistance, really? And then you're like, yeah!
Yeah, popping up. Absolutely losing my fucking mind, dude. I'm glad that it didn't get announced this year, because it's the first year I haven't put it in my fucking Shag Marry Kill. So I would have been pissed off if it got announced this year. I'd be like, fuck! But never mind. Speaking of Shag Marry Kills, before we get there, I want to just run through our predictions that we made going into this to see how well we did. So Spence, do you want to run us through your safe, possible, and crazy predictions that you made going into the show and how well you did?
Sure, mate, sure. So my first was my safe. A new We Were Here game shown, and I had reasoning for this. However, my reasoning clearly wasn't strong enough. There wasn't enough evidence. It fell short. It didn't show up. I did have an inkling in my mind saying We Were Here is not really big enough for the Game Awards. But I thought, it's all lining up. Gotta happen. Didn't happen. Let down. possible, though. Ooh. A new co-op game by Hazelight Studio, the devs of It Takes Two and The Way Out in March. But you guys gave me the first quarter in case that didn't happen. Well, they fucking announced it. And it's coming out in March. Split Fiction by Hazelight Studios. Let's fucking go.
I gotta say, mate, you're a fucking prophet, man. To like come out with that announcement and for it to be, me and Phil were like, okay, yeah, we already knew he was going to be here. Okay. And we're like, see if he gets the fucking release quarter. Let's see. And then he said March, and we were like, oh, for fuck's sake. Like, I was fuming, man. I was absolutely fuming. I don't know how you felt about it, Phil.
I was ripping my hair out, mate, because I know where these shots are coming. Because Spence had so many shots last time, didn't he? And I think he needs some payback from me and you.
Yeah, he does. And to be fair, Spence, you're keeping up with tradition, because I think so far, you're the only person out of all three of us on the podcast that gets predictions that come in. Like, I swear you are. I don't think I've had, maybe I've had one. Maybe. Over 4 years worth of conferences. Maybe one. I don't think Phil's had any. And you've had like 3 now at this point. It's wild, mate.
Yeah. This is the one I was the most proud of as well. When I came up with my predictions, I was like, yeah, this one's so methodical. I put proper work into this one. And it fucking happened. Let's go.
Yeah,
the fact they got leaked like 3 days after as well. Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's mad. It's absolutely mad. Thank God we recorded on time, eh? Can you imagine if we recorded late, like we are today, and we're recording on a Monday, and we're just like, sorry, mate, it's been out. You're like, I promise I wrote it beforehand. But, sorry, mate. We definitely wouldn't have allowed it either. So, what was your final then? What was your crazy?
Oh, my crazy. It didn't happen, and now I'm concerned it never will happen. Pragmata in any form. The Capcom Space Little Girl Bloke game that got showed at the announcement of PS5 and then got confirmed for 2025 just wasn't fucking there. Wasn't there. And Capcom instead showed 2 new games. Yeah, cheers.
Yeah, I think this one is going the way of Deep Down on the PS4 reveal, you know, and that game looked awesome. I was well hyped for that. Never seen the light of day, shelved. Who knows, man? Keep on predicting it, dude.
No.
Keep on going. It's probably one, to be honest, that you might be safer for like a PlayStation state of play
or a showcase, yeah.
Yeah, I imagine it's more that kind of territory. But really well done regardless. And I am quite tempted to change your name to The Prophet. I am quite tempted. I might actually start rolling out The Prophet because you fucking willed that into existence. You've done this a couple of times now. So really, really well done. Myself and Phil, not to give spoilers away, we didn't do too hot, did we, Phil? How did you get on? What were your predictions?
Absolutely terrible. And I thought my safe was really safe because Kojima was at the Game Awards. We knew that was going to happen. He was tweeting out photos all week about things that he would possibly talk about at the Game Awards. And he came out. He looked fly as fuck. He looked great in his crushed velvet suit. He had a guy doing the translations for him in a really black plain suit just to make Kojima look even better. He had some sweet kicks on. He had some acronym ex-Misfit supernormals on, which blow my mind because they're so rare. But obviously he's Kojima. He can get what he wants. He came up on stage and he just presented an award. That's it. That's all we got from Kojima. We seen him a couple of times in the crowd with a smug smile on his face, and I thought, it's coming. It's coming. But no. Death Stranding 2. No gameplay. Nothing.
You forgot the golden brooch he had of his studio logo as well, which looked fucking nice. Big gold brooch of his logo. It's like, damn, he looks slick.
Correct. If you didn't know it was Hideo Kojima, and you just knew his studio, it's printed on his suit. He looked great. He looked the best at the Game Awards outside Sydney.
You get no pushback from me, mate. I thought he looked absolutely slick. He looked like that suit was waterproof. Like, it would just run straight off. That's how slick he was, you know? Like, if you put him in a wind tunnel, my guy's cutting up new 100-meter records. Like, absolutely insanely slick with it. But how did the possible and the crazy go?
So my possible was Ghost of Yotai. And I kind of thought that we were going to get some PS5 Pro details to do with this. because I didn't think we were going to get any more kind of gameplay or any more visuals when it came to this. I just thought they were going to focus more on the PS5 Pro and try and push sales in that area. We didn't even see Ghost of Yotai, I think. I didn't see it at all at this show.
Nope, nowhere to be had, my friend. Literally nowhere.
Really unfortunate, so that wasn't there either. And then onto my crazy, and I thought, Jeff, he's trying to step things up. He's trying to do new things on the show. Now, I think he watches a couple of the, Tonight shows on the American TV, and he kind of sees himself as being one of those presenters, coming out, doing a little bit more than standing just behind the mic. I thought he was going to give us a song and dance, because they've got an orchestra. It's not beyond the realm of possibility that Jeff Keighley would come out and just do a little rendition of a quick song. Well, he didn't. He backed down. He pussied out. All he did was present the show really, really cleanly, and he did a great job. He did no songs.
Yeah, maybe that's what would give him the 10, or bump yours up to a 9. Would you have given a 9 if he had done a little number?
Oh, 100%. If I got a crazy, mate, that would have been straight up to a 10.
Yeah, this is exactly what he needs to do. What Jeff needs to do is leave it to the very last moment to plan his show, give all 3 of us our crazies, and then he's got himself, 3 10 out of 10s on the show. Although Spence would probably only bump him up to an 8 out of 10. The prophet himself.
Go down to a 6, mate.
You put it down.
Yeah,
Too
yeah.
obvious, mate.
Because you boys got your crazies, I'd be like, fuck's sake.
All right.
I would just put him down for singing, to be fair. I don't want to hear Jeff sing. Just go down a point. Just for him singing in general.
What about a little tap dance? It was like...
Only if the Muppets booed him afterwards.
I would have loved that little rendition to him, and he throws it back over. I would have been well up for that.
Boo! Get off the stage, Jeff.
Surely you would have just heard do 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 phenomenon bum bum ba dum phenomenon bum ba bum, because the Muppets are famous for singing that song and dancing to that song. So Jeff could have come out and sung a bit of phenomenon bum bum ba dum. That's happening next year.
Calling it. He's putting the prediction in early. He's getting it in a year in advance. I'll have to put that in the doc. Well, Phil, I'm following suit with you. I got kind of fucked over, to be honest, in mine, because my save happened, but happened too soon. So I predicted Street Fighter 6 trailer, first details for Mai, released a week before the fucking Game Awards, which was horrific to see. That was the worst fucking news ever. I thought it was the safest fucking thing in the world. Unfortunately, that was not to be. My possible was the Wolverine trailer with gameplay, still to this day eluding us. No idea when the fuck we're going to see that. And my crazy would have been nuts. Marvel vs. Capcom 4 announced, and as Spence said, plenty of Capcom franchises here. Unfortunately, the goodies were not in my bag on this occasion. So it is a nil point for myself and Mr. Hoy, and Spence coming in with 2 whole shots. So really, really, really well done. Lewis, did you have any predictions for the Game Awards? How did you get on?
So we did I put some predictions down in our group chat, so you guys saw my predictions. So I didn't make them up after the fact, just so you know. But yeah, my safe was Metal Gear Solid Delta. I don't think Jeff wanted to piss off Kojima, I guess. That's why they didn't show it. I'm just assuming, because that just made all the sense in the world to see Metal Gear Solid Delta. But then my possibles, so this is interesting. I said Tifa was going to be announced for Tekken 8, and then you guys were, that's too obvious, change it. I was like, all right then, fine. And then she wasn't announced. It was Sid? Was it Sid? Oh, I can't remember the name of the character.
Sid.
Oh, Sid. It's Clive.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clive.
Oh, yeah.
What
Sid's his name later in the game. Spoilers for 16.
Oh. So I changed my prediction, and then I changed it to Final Fantasy Rebirth getting a PC announcement, which it did. And then I thought, that's boring, I'm going to change it again. So I changed my possible to... I made it super specific, so it's slightly wrong, but it's also kind of right. I said Neil Druckmann's going to come out, announce The Last of Us Part 2, Season 2 on TV, and then they were going to show the Naughty Dog new IP. They did show the new Naughty Dog IP, but the Neil Druckmann stuff was all wrong. But I did kind of guess it, so I don't know. And then my crazy prediction was the rumoured Xbox handheld, or the rumoured Xbox, the rumoured Steam machines that have been rumoured that they were going to be announced this year, but nothing. So, unfortunately.
So you were pretty close. You were like, those people who say every year that the world's ending, right? one of those years they're going
Yeah.
to come in, right? And they're going to be like, everyone will be like, fucking hell, they were bang on. You were like just there. Like we had just off. You're like Nostradamus, where you should probably take a learning from Nostradamus. He came up with some nuts predictions, and because they're quite nebulous, you can read into them at any point and be like, actually, maybe he was on something. He's like, I see 2 towers taller than the sky and they're on fire. And everyone's like, fuck, he's talking about 9/11. No, he's just fucking spouting bollocks off, right? But everyone's like, fucking hell, what a genius he was.
Yeah.
Maybe you should take some lessons from old Nostradamus here, mate.
Yeah, if I just said Naughty Dog's new IP shown, or if I just said Final Fantasy Rebirth PC announcement, or if I just
Yeah.
said new Tekken character, I would have got like 3 predictions, but I made them too nuanced. So there you go. One of those things. Unfortunate.
Every day's a school day, but you all did amazingly well done. I really enjoyed all your predictions, but the actual show itself was very, very interesting itself. So we're going to dive into this now. We're going to go round and do our Shag, Marry, and Kills. So with the predictions, the way we're going to do this, so we don't just cycle the same thing over and over again, if it appears in your list somewhere else, you can bring that up. But if it's in the same spot, so for example, if I say fucking Elden Ring or whatever in my Shag, Spence then can't say the same thing for his Shag. We got to kind of move it around and cycle. But if it appears on a Marry, you can bring that up. That's absolutely fine. And we can just handle that there and then to save us holding back on any conversation. So yourself, Spencer, I want to hear your Shag, please.
Oh, I'm going first. This means no Steely Poos from Spenpie. Let's go. Well, my Shag, I actually have 3 options I can pick from, but the one I think I will go with, Stage Fright, the new game from the developers of the Overcooked series, just because they didn't even really show what it is. They just showed 2 of their characters reacting to the game. Weird. Very weird way to show it, but it's from the devs of Overcooked, and I adore those games. And it's going to be another co-op, fun platinum, great experience. I'm just super excited to see what it actually is.
Wait,
Yeah.
Could it be a spooky Overcooked? Because like it sounds, that's what it kind of sounds like to me with Stage Fright, like some kind of like Overcooked but scary, which would kind of be a Street Man.
I don't want it to be Overcooked. I want it to be a new twist, a new mechanic, a new something you do. But who knows? It could be literally anything. We have no idea.
Well, they showed a tiny bit of gameplay, didn't they? So they showed the screen being cut in half and like 2 characters running towards the screen. They did show a few fair bits.
Yeah, that's true.
So they did show something. So we got a little idea, but we certainly didn't get as much of an idea as we did for the other 2-player game, which I'm sure might appear on someone's list imminently. So I won't go any further into that. But no, great choice, Spence. I think this is one that I had on my backups for my Shags. I think it looks mega interesting. And you're right, it's very much a case of it's a product of what came before, isn't it? And you know, we've adored the Overcooked series, so there's no reason going into this that we wouldn't enjoy this one too. So I'll be very much looking forward to savoring this game with yourself when that comes out. Lewis, over to yourself. We're going to come to you next as the guest. Spence always starts, but you can go next, my friend. What is going to be your Shag?
I have a lot of choices. I'm going to go with one that I don't think any of you are going to pick. Maybe Phil might pick this one, but I could also see Davey maybe wanted to kill this one. My pick would be Rematch, the created from Sifu, the football game, third-person football game. I thought it looked really fun. FIFA needs competition. It's kind of like an esports or eFootball or whatever it's called is crap. So a new football game, I'm down for trying it. It looks fun. I know a lot of people prefer like a Sifu 2, but I'm totally down for trying this.
Well, Lewis, Rematch was actually my backup for my Marry. So she was a pretty lady, but I had someone better in mind that I really wanted to slip that ring on, if you know what I mean. But Rematch, the Sifu follow-up, was a football game, Slow Clap's next game, releasing in 2025, and it's a third-person football game, so I quite like that. It's a little bit of a different spin when it comes to, you know, football games, because FIFA generally is the top-down view, but Rematch, they're taking it in a different kind of position, different angle, and doing a bit of background reading. In this game, there's no fouls, there's no penalties, there's no throw-ends, it's all just action. And it looks like Rocket League, but just football. So really, really interesting. I definitely will be playing this, but I won't be marrying this one.
Mate, I gotta say about Rematch as well. It's not on my list, but for a specific reason, it looks phenomenal. It's Rocket League without the cars. That is literally all it is.
Yeah,
Which is
or it's
ironic.
football. It's football
Just football.
without the cars.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah,
ro-
but
it's
that's
Rocket
what
League
Rocket
football.
League is. But
I
it's just
know,
like the
Rocket League is football with cars, and then this
Yeah.
is just is Rocket
This
League
is
without the
Rocket
cars.
League, but football.
Yeah.
Ooh. imagine they were sitting there and they were like, "We got to think of our new game." And they're like, "Football." I'm like, yeah, Rocket League. And then just like get the two and just put them together. They're like, "There it is, boys." And they're like,
What if we
"Barry, you
didn't
fucking
have cars?
genius! Oh my god." Imagine
What if you played football with people with legs instead of actual cars?
ludicrous. Oh my god,
Oh.
Barry, you fucking genius. Oh my god, we're going to make $1 million. But yeah, no, I agree with you guys. I think this game looked awesome. And I had this on a backup Shag, right? So if everything else was gone, this would have been there. And yeah, I think I said to Phil at the time when we were watching it, the smartest thing they can do, slow clap, is put this day one PS Plus, just like Rocket League did when it first launched. That'd be the smartest fucking play they ever do, this studio. It's just to do that, get it as many players' hands as possible, and get it fucking out there. Because there's no doubt about it, like, that Slowcat can make a fucking amazing game. But to have this take off when you've got Rocket League and you've got FIFA there, you need to entice people in. And it needs to have that, I think. Like, if there's any way this comes out other than it being a free to play kind of entry or a giving it on like Game Pass and on PSN, they're fucking themselves over if they don't do that. I really feel that way. I don't know if you guys got anything to follow up on that.
It's going to be nice to actually be on the same team as Phil for once when it comes to football. We usually butt heads when it comes to football, so it'd be nice to actually team up. I'm hoping this will be our new Helldivers for next year, or like our new co-op game. I'm totally down for playing it. Really can't wait. And it also reminds me a lot of like FIFA Streets and stuff, like back in the day. Those games were so much fun. The combat of seafood, but with football, I mean, I'm down. So I mean, it was one of my favorite things to show of the whole show, and I'm really excited for it.
Lewis, you're doing me favours when it comes to football these days anyway. So United and Liverpool fans, we can be friends this season. So don't worry, we're on the same team.
Me and Spence awkwardly look at each other, not understanding football whatsoever. So we'll just play it, mate. We'll score some absolute blinders, just like we
What
do
you
on
need to
FIFA.
know is the Pep is no longer changing the game. He's fallen off a cliff.
Oh, he's gone.
That's all you need to know. Yeah, he's gone.
What?
He's lost his head.
I need to think of a new thing to use as my football thing on it. I have to go onto AI and say, give me a catchy football phrase to say. I might use Copilot later. So, Phil, over to yourself for your Shag.
Okay, Davey. Well, I think you already know my Shag because this game had the biggest pop of the whole show for us. And it's something that we've talked about for weeks on the show. When are we going to get buggies? When are we going to get the new race? When are we getting the next update to Helldivers? Weirdly, they won an award for the best community support. And I'm like, they don't really do releases very often. So it was a really strange one for Helldivers. But that came up and it gave us everything we wanted. It started off with a sick soundtrack. Actually, there was a Helldiver on stage. I think he was the guy from the actual game. He came on stage, full Helldivers outfit, and introduced the new expansion. And as I said, we're getting buggies, which are going to be hilarious, and a new race, which Davey tells me are absolute bastards. So I look forward to teaming up with you guys for Super Earth and taking those new guys down in buggies.
Oh, fuck yeah, man. You're right. We popped off for this. And there was, when we were watching it live and they won that community award, and Helldivers was even in that nomination, we were like, there's no fucking way Helldivers wins this. Half the time the community is fucking outraged with them because they just break shit constantly. And there's been no fucking real content for donks. Like, no way. Like, we love Helldivers, right? It's all going to be in our top fives. It probably will end up winning our game of the year. But being best community is a fucking reach, right? It's a fucking reach. And we were like absolutely dumbfounded. And then as soon as the fucking buggies come out, bro, we are popping off left, right, and center. And the fucking Illuminate as well. Ugh, like what the fuck are they doing putting both out in one? Absolutely insane. And I've been desperate to dive back in, and I haven't, because I thought the best way we could do it is when we're all together. So I think as soon as you're back, Phil, chuck us a DM, chuck us a message, we all fucking assemble, and we get onto the fucking Sword of Justice or whatever shit we're going to get onto, and we shall start fucking dominating some Illuminate. Me and Spence can use our old Helldivers 1 knowledge, see if it pays off, and start smoking them, man. I fucking can't wait. I really can't.
This was my backup Shag as well. Like I was going to say this one, but I knew one of you guys were going to say it, so that's why I picked rematch. But yeah, it's so good. I mean, Helldivers 2 is such a good fucking game.
It cracked me up, though, guys, because when he got on stage, I can't remember the name of the guy, because I haven't got that in my notes today. He came up on stage and he was just doing this. He was just shaking his head as if he couldn't believe they had won that support award. And me and Davey were like, he's not going to win. Even them getting nominated is crazy, as Davey said. And then he won, and he just wandered off stage just shaking his head like he was like dumbfounded. Just because the game's so popular, they won the award. It's nothing to do with the actual context of the award, which is crazy. But hey, they won.
I thought Baldur's Gate 3 won Community Award for best community support. Am I wrong?
No, Helldivers won Best Ongoing Game or whatever it won.
It won Best Multiplayer and Best Ongoing, but I think Community support was Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it won like best live service game or something like that. Whichever award it won for that, anyway, it was just absolute ludicrous. But Spence, how are you feeling about diving back into Helldivers 2 and facing off with some robot bastards?
Well, I was going to say, this game didn't even feature my list. It was not on my shags at all. But that's just because Helldivers, it's phenomenal with you boys. But on my own, I wouldn't play it. So that's all that really is. But I am super fucking keen to get in a buggy with you boys and fight the Illuminate. It's going to be sick. And I've seen like 1 or 2 clips because it's out now. You can play it now. But I want to play it. I do want to play it with you boys.
Yeah, can't wait, man. Can't wait. Well, I'm so glad you guys didn't take it. My shag was actually shown in the pre-show. And it was my shag immediately, as soon as I saw it. One of the first games shown. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. Coming out summer 2025. Fuck me. This game looks insanely good. I was watching it and I was next to Karen, and I think I had Phil joining Discord at the time. I don't think he was there yet. And I was like, fucking hell's that Ninja Gaiden? In the start of it. And I was like, what? They bringing out a new Ninja Gaiden? I was like, this animation doesn't look like Ninja Gaiden, because Ninja Gaiden's, like mega realistic, like super top tier graphics. And then as soon as it cut to gameplay, I was like, fucking hell, it's like Shinobi. And I was over the moon with it. I couldn't believe it. And to me, it just ticked all the boxes for a kind of gameplay experience that I know I'm going to fucking enjoy. And hopefully it's going to be hard as balls and really, really slick with it. And this game looked fucking amazing. So summer 2025 by the Game Kitchen, fucking day one for me. This looks absolutely insane.
Are they the ones who made Blasphemous, if I remember correctly, which is also a super hard as ball Metroidvania game? This is also one of my other backup shags as well. I've been sleeping around a bit, but yeah, this is one of my backup. Yeah, it looks so fucking good. I love me a 2D platformer. Love me a Metroidvania. Looks so fucking good. I agree. Just go! I'm hyped for it. I can't wait.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. She's a good girl. She can go round. I think all of you guys can have a turn, and she's going to service you all. She'll be like Spence and me with our vaginas, mate. Everyone gets a go. Sort all the boys out, and that's exactly what we want to hear from.
I love Phil not knowing any context of what you're talking about. It's great.
Absolutely fine. I'm sure that the thought of the pre-drunk conversation before the big quiz has burned into Phil's mind. But let's move it on to our marries then. So from the girls that we're going to hump and chuck, we're moving on to the girls we're putting that ring on and walking down the aisle with. Spence, as again, over to you for the marry, my friend.
Beautiful. Thank you, mate. Well, I think it's only fair. I willed it into existence, so it kind of has to be my marry. There were 2 options, but this is the one I'm going with. Split fucking Fiction. It looked a bit weirder than I expected it to, but it looks great. And there are some parts, like they showed it and it just looked really really cool, sci-fi, and then medieval, sick. But then there was a moment they're like, "Oh, you're a banana now, or you're bread now." It was weird, and I was just like, "What is going to happen?"
You're a sausage
in
on a
this game?
barbecue.
Sausage on a barbecue is what it
That's
was.
what
There
it
it is.
was.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Lewis. I was like, "What the fuck?" All right, I don't know when that's happening in the game, but very cool. I think it's just going to be a really fun experience, same as the last 2 games they've released. Super fucking keen for it. I adore A Way Out and It Takes Two. This is going to slap tits, and I am marrying the fuck out of it.
No real surprise there, my friend. And yeah, it did look really good. I'm sure that on the next episode, maybe I'll tell you a little bit more about mine and Karen's adventures through It Takes Two. We have done it. We've done the first couple of levels. I will spill all the beans later on, because I think after we get past the squirrels, which I've got past like 4 times now on the game and then always seem to drop it, I'll let you know if me and Karen are still together, because it's been very frustrating. This looked great, man. It looked like a natural evolution for what the series could be, and I think they've taken it in a really interesting way. So I'm not surprised about your take here, and yeah, I'm glad that you're really happy about it.
I'm going to be playing Takes Two over my missus over New Year's as well, hopefully. So that's my top of the list game to play. I was trying to think of some good co-op games we could play. So the same place, because most of them are online. Takes Two has always been top of my list, so that's like something I'm planning to play over New Year's as well. So I'll let you know how that goes.
So we maybe 2 single men walking around after this festive break, Lewis. So we'll see how this goes. But speaking of, let's move it over to yourself, Lewis. What is your marry?
Well, I'm glad that Spencer didn't take this one. My marry is a sequel spin-off of my Game of the Year 2020. My current game, 2022, sorry. My current Game of the Year, Elden Ring, baby. Elden Ring Night Rain. I am so excited for this. Before we were talking about how we were going to try Monster Hunter Wild. Fuck that. We're playing this instead. This is the co-op game. This is next year's Helldivers. I'm really hoping you guys are up for it, because I will be buying it on PS5 just to play it with you guys. Just so if you're up for it, obviously. Otherwise, I'm playing it on Xbox. So yeah, I cannot wait for this game. More Elden Ring, baby. I mean, I'll just give me more Elden Ring. I Shadow of the Erdtree was fantastic. The base Elden Ring was fantastic. I know this is probably going to be a bit different. Like people are saying it's a bit more fast paced, and it's a roguelike. Like more information has came out since. But man, I'm hyped. When the game all started, if someone said you're going to see a new Elden Ring game, I would have gone, "You're out your fucking mind." Like, there's no way they're going to show more Elden Ring. And like, yep, more Elden Ring, baby. I'm so excited. Can't wait. Looks so good. It's top of my list now of most anticipated games. Fuck Grand Theft Auto 6. Fuck Metro Prime 4. I'm totally... Let's go. Elden Ring. Let's fucking go. Elden Ring Night Rain. Let's go.
Dude, it blew my mind when the trailer started, and I seem to have this kind of innate talent, I do say this to myself, to be able to, like, 10 seconds into a game trailer to be like, is this blah, blah, blah? And it just fucking is, right? And I was like, is this fucking Elden Ring? Like, immediately. And I was like, there's no fucking way. What's it, just coming to Switch or some bollocks? And then...
Jeff Keighley, before announcing it, said this is a brand new standalone game. So I was like, is this Elden Ring? It's like, oh no, but Jeff Keighley said it's a new standalone game, so it can't be Elden Ring. Surely not. Like, they've just announced they've just released a massive expansion. It can't be Elden Ring. Yeah. No, it was. I had the same feeling you did, but just the fact that Jeff said it was a new standalone game made me really confused. And then also they got Dark Souls 1 and 2 and 3 bosses in there, and Bloodborne bosses. And I'm like, oh, this is like everyone is here, Smash Bros, but with Souls bosses. I'm excited. I'm really excited. And you guys can carry me I'll just be in the back, like, spamming spells or whatever, and you guys will do all the damage. I can't wait.
No, I'll look forward to it. I mean, the thing about it, it's going to be very interesting having a game where I can't have a class that is my own, so I can't just be a full strength user. I'll have to play differently to how I've ever played a Souls game before. So this will be quite interesting for me. And yeah, looking forward to it. It was my marry as well, but you can absolutely have her. I got some backups. But Mr. Hoyt, this come across to yourself. What is your marry?
Okay, Davey. So my marry is a little lady I've been working on a little bit through 2024. I've been in and out of her, enjoying, dipping in, dipping out, and now it's time to slip that ring on, get down on one knee, and be like, will you marry me, Dave the Diver, in the jungle, baby? We're taking it right to the jungle. So we've got a new expansion that's hitting in 2025, and we had a really quick trailer. It was about a minute, no gameplay, but it's just going to be more Dave the Diver. And having spent, I think, around 80 hours last year, dining Dave the Diver, it's time to marry her. She's my marry.
I'm really happy for you. And it's one of those things that one day I'll get to it. Don't know when. Probably won't be in the jungle. Probably be in space. When he gets to space, that's when Dave Diver, ding, ding, hello. Davey, heading to space. Count me in, Dave. See you there, my friend. That's when you get me through the door. But until then, I'm happy for you, mate. You can definitely marry her. I'll come to the ceremony. Depends on where, the stag do is. If it's too far away, do I care about the relationship that much? You and Dave? Probably not. So I'll let that one go. But let's move on to my marry. Project Robot. This is from the Ico creator, Fumito Ueda. And this is a full-on nostalgia pull. That is all this is for me. I'll be honest with you. This game is fucking miles away. Anytime something's announced as Project, I'll be waiting on this for about 5 years, right? But to pull on not only the start where it's like, from the creator of Ico and Shadow of the Colossus, which immediately gets my dick hard, to be like, here's things that look like fucking Colossuses. It's like, yeah, do you know what? Maybe this is a bit of me. And straight away, it just went into the marry list, right? Like, immediately. So there's a lot more to go with this game. And there's other games that probably would be more justified to be in my marry list, like Onimusha or something like that. But nostalgia wins, man. And so that is why this has come all the way up into my marry, and no other reason than that. Very, very selfish choice indeed. But because I know Mr. Hoy has to go, let's move it straight on to our kills. Let's rattle through these ASAP, lads, because I know that Phil is not going to be with us for too much longer. That internet is not going to last. So, Spence, back round to yourself. Give me your kill.
Sure. So I had like 4 or 5 potential kills, but a lot of them I think would piss people off. So I'm going to go with the safest one that I think won't. Still might, but it shouldn't. The game I'm killing off, One Move Away. The game where you just pack up and move house. That is the whole game. And sure, it looks cute and it's nice, but realistically, moving house is stressful as shit. It is. And for some reason, this bitch in this game moves every 2 fucking years. Just pick a house. I don't understand what it was about. Every single 2 years on the calendar, she's moving. Stay somewhere. Start a family. Get a job. What are you doing? It was ridiculous. And also just organize your room or something. Why are you paying money to do that? Just do something else. Clean the kitchen. Your house is a mess. Well, stop playing this.
Oh my god, dude. You're lucky that Karen isn't here. When she watched that trailer, she was like, I'd love this. Like, I think this is it. I think it's like a woman.
It's a
like
game for women, yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's like a fucking dream, man. She loves Tetris and shit in the car that I can't get in. Like, when we go to download later in the year, she's going to be a fucking goat at packing the car. And she's going to leave her to it. That'd be a fucking great day for her, packing the car up. I'd be like, it's like that VR game you're always playing, but in real life. Oh my god. She'll love it, dude.
I'm going to use Davey's logic, with Flight Simulator. If you want to play this game, why don't you just move house? Like, get more out of it that way. Like, why not just do it in real life? Yeah. Why would you bother simulating this? It's so silly.
Yeah, just take all your shit outside and try and chuck it in your Corsa. Just do that for a day.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Then put it all away again. Double the gameplay enjoyment. But no, good choice, Spence. I enjoy it. I'm not quite there with the hate as much as yourself, my friend, but I understand the logic. And I think that's all you need sometimes for a kill, isn't it? What about yourself, Lewis? Where are you going with this?
See, I'm the opposite of Spencer. See, I got some safe ones, but I want to pick one that's going to piss everyone off. So I'm going to go the opposite way with this. And I'm going to also play into the bit as well. There's kind of a running joke on the channel. My kill is Intergalactic, The Heretic's Prophecy.
You fucking dickhead. What the hell,
Knew
bro?
it.
I was going to talk about this later on after we wrap these up, because I'm surprised none of us put it into our
I was
marriage.
surprised
I think-
no one picked it. That's why it was on my list. But I was like, no, surely someone's going to marry this or shag it. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I just
Give me a reason then.
I have
Give me a reason.
several. I mean,
Woman.
she's a woman, exactly. No. Well, she's unlikable is the main thing. Like you got we haven't talked about The Witcher 4, and Ciri seems like a much more likable character than this woman. She just seemed really unlikable, smug, and horrible. She just didn't seem very nice, honestly. It was a 4-minute trailer of her just walking around her ship and trying to chase the guy from Eternals on for a bounty reward. There was so much product placement, it's a poor ship. She's got her adhesives on. Is a Sony's Walkman. It's like, come on now. It's like, if this wasn't a Naughty Dog game, none of us would be interested in it. We all would have forgotten about it straight after the trailer finished, honestly. The only thing that got me hyped was right at the end, literally the last 10 seconds of the trailer, the robot and the new lightsaber thing she got would look fucking sick. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay, I'm in. But the first 4 minutes of that trailer, what is this shit? I'm sorry. I'm like, no, I'm really not into it. I'm really not into it. And as I said, mainly because I'm doing it for the bit. This game's I hated way more than this, but I thought it'd be funny to do it for the bit, so I'm going to do it for the bit. Fuck this game. Kill it.
I am shocked, man. I mean, there's doing for the bit, and then there's I couldn't be further away from you on this. I'm not going to labour the point too much because I know that as more and more details come out of this, it's going to be more of a discussion.
I might be wrong. The game might be great. I'm just saying.
It will be
trailer.
It will be
this
great,
trailer.
mate.
Naughty Dog has a great track record. To be fair, I'm not a massive fan of Last of Us Part 2, but it was still a solid game, gameplay wise and all that. I just didn't like the story. This trailer wasn't very good. I didn't think it was a very good announced trailer for a new series. To be honest,
that's fair. I mean, each opinions are like arseholes, isn't it? Everyone's got one, as the saying goes, and that's very true, mate. I'm not there to shoot down your opinion. You're welcome to have your opinion. I'm very much on the opposite camp. I thought that the world building created in this trailer was really top notch, and learning some details later on that it's set in 1986, and that it's just that they're much more advanced in the space race kind of thing. I think it's just a really interesting environment. And I think all a trailer has to do, especially for an opening of an IP, is to be able to captivate your imagination. And for yourself, it didn't hit. For me, it definitely did. And I think it's one of those things that I'm really excited to learn more about this than I am about any other project that's in PlayStation's wheelhouse at the moment, because it just looks so different, such a departure for what Naughty Dog have been known for over the last 2 generations. So I was really on board with this. But Phil, haven't heard from you on this one. How did Intergalactic grab you?
Just knew Lewis was going to pick it as a kill. He just had to, didn't he? It was the biggest announcement of the entire show, in my opinion. And this would have been up there, but we usually like to leave the big games for kind of like an honourable mention so we can talk about them in depth at the end of this Shag Marry Kill. But hey, you've picked it as a kill, and again, I'm completely opposite end of the scale to you. But I agree with you slightly on a few points that it was a bit strange that some of the ideas within this game, they're kind of borrowed from other places. Guardians of the Galaxy, Akira, the product placement and the kind of music style there, it's just copy and paste from Guardians of the Galaxy, unfortunately. So in 2020, when Neil Druckmann first started putting this game together, he's obviously watching Guardians and probably watched a bit of Akira, didn't he? Because a lot of those ideas just seem to flow through. But outside that, as Davey said, the world building was super intriguing. And Lewis, she's got a name. Her name is Jordan. Jordan A. Munn. So put that in your diary and smoke it, okay, mate? Women have names. Women are people too. And I bloody loved it. So I cannot wait until that game comes out.
I thought she was Jaden Smith.
In development. It's been in development now since 2020. So this game, we're going to be quite close. It's not going to take too much longer, is it?
No. I imagine that we're going to be seeing this. If we're lucky, we'll see it next year. I imagine it's 2026.
Yeah.
I imagine.
But also the thing with this as well, I was like, I'm hoping I'm going to like it. So don't take this the wrong way. Is that I know this is going to have a lot of discourse. No matter how good or bad the game is, there's going to be people like it's already started. Like Phil shared a meme earlier. It's already got the people going, "It's woke," and then you got the people going, "She's ugly. I can't play a game with an ugly woman." It's like, oh god, here we go again. Like, I don't want to have to deal with this discourse. I just want to play a game. I just know.
I mean, we Naughty Dog gonna have that. Anyone that's like really popular is gonna have this kind of bollocks. And it's like, to me, the thing, and I'm not going to derail it because I really want to hear Spencer's thoughts, but people saying that's like fucking Ciri from Witcher fucking 4 is ugly is just insane to me. Like, Jesus Christ, I would walk over hot fucking coals for a piece of that. Like,
I don't think this character is ugly by the way, even this new character. I just don't.
No, I reckon she's alright.
I just think she's just unlikable. Or it comes across as unlikable from the trailer we've seen. Maybe she'll be more likable like over an 8-hour stint, but for the trailer, I was like,
some of my favorite women of all time are unlikable, mate, and they've always been good girls. Harsh outer shells. You get in there, they're all soft inside, and that's all you really need, isn't it? Take that how you will. Nice double entendre. And speaking of double entendre, somebody who I know would love to put double up in Naughty Dog every time he gets an opportunity. How are you feeling about this one, Spence?
Mate, it looks fucking brilliant. I don't know what... This discourse is nuts as well, because I fancied her, I think, quite a bit. I was like, yo, she's bad as hell, and she's got the muscles going on. I was like, damn. And the thing is, calling her unlikable, I think, is nuts, because she's just as cocky and egotistical as any other male protagonist. I feel like if it was any other way, it'd be the same thing. It's just, I guess people don't like cocky women. I don't know.
I don't like cocky people in general, to be fair. It's not that she's a woman. I just
every protagonist in history is. They're the main fucking character, mate. They deserve to be cocky. It's the way it goes. And this is just another one. But she just wants to get a job done. That's all it was. And the product placement, yeah, it's a lot, but I quite like it. I actually quite like the product placement the way they've done it. Because realistically, if you're wearing a pair of kicks, it's going to have a logo on it. If you're driving a car, it's got a fucking logo on it. And your freaking Walkman's going to have a logo on it. The fact that games hide that, it's whatever. It having one, I don't think that's much of an issue.
To me, it's just like with Kojima, right? Like in Metal Gear Solid 4, he's got an iPod. In fucking Death Stranding, he's drinking Monster. It's all over the place. And I think it just all depends on the world and the world that you create. And sometimes it can enhance a project and sometimes it can be a detriment. And for me, and showing it being like an 80s kind of style, you need those kind of brands and that kind of flashy design to be able to make sure that it ties back to the time period that it's trying to emanate, but doing it as like an alternate history. So I think it kind of works. So with very early days, we're going to see a lot of this over a lot of showcases, I imagine. And I can't wait to see more. And, 3 out of 4 of us are in agreement here, but it's always nice to have the other side. And as we see more details, it'd be good to have you back, Lewis, to see if your opinion shifts or if you remain very much in the opposite camp. Exactly.
I'm open-minded about it. It's just first impressions. I wasn't blown away. I was kind of like, this seems a bit generic. I'm not fussed on the character or the world, but hey ho, I like space games. I mean, I love Starfield, so I love space games. So maybe I'll like it. I'm just gonna give it. I love Uncharted. I love Last of Us Part 1, and I like some of Part 2. But Naughty Dog's got a good record, so I'm willing to give it a try. I just didn't like the trailer. Honestly.
That's fair. Well, let's move on from that and let's get on to yourself, Mr. Hoyt. Where are you going for your kill?
Okie doke, Davey, I'm glad you asked because I've got a shotgun double-barreled aimed at a series which is somewhat beloved by me. I grew up on this series, or at least the first one. I'm talking about Turok Origins. My God, that was a balls trailer. Fucking hell. I was like, bleh. It was a co-op 4-player dinosaur hunter game, right? And it didn't really show any proper dinosaur hunting. They were ditching the first person, which Turok is famous for. And apparently this is the new evolution of the series. So it's a co-op game fighting dinosaurs. It'll probably be great, okay? Because as I'm saying it, I'm already convincing myself that it could possibly be good. It's a good IP. It's got good elements. But the trailer, much like Lewis didn't enjoy the Intergalactic trailer, I didn't like the Turok Origins trailer. I thought it was absolutely fucking terrible. Do not produce trailers like this because it did not get me hyped at all.
Dude, couldn't agree more. It was second place on my kill list. So I got someone that is top billing, getting the first shot. I got to reload and then put one into Turok because this game looked fucking shit. It looked terrible, dude. It looked like a PS3 level game in fucking 2025. There's just no place for this. And to sully Turok's, well, to be fair, Turok's has some bad games, right? Like, they're long gone since the days of the N64. We are not talking about the same thing whatsoever. So, even if it's got a cerebral bore, I'm gonna fucking cerebral bore this thing's fucking head off. This game looked fucking shit. So yeah, really well done. Totally agree with that. Totally agree.
Yeah, for me, Turok was number 2 on my kill list as well. I used to love Turok as a kid. Gone. Just why'd they even try bring it back? Trailer looked absolute dog shit. Complete agreement with both of you.
Well, to round it out for our kill list, and the one that I feel is the biggest waste of my fucking time, is a game that I never thought I would put here in a kill list. It is Double Dragon Revive. This fucking trailer was an act against God. Me and Phil, when we both saw this, were like, what the fuck? We were laughing at how bad it was. It's a CG trailer, right, for a game that comes out in October next year. It's a CG trailer, which even the CG looked like fucking arse. There was no gameplay at all in a Double Dragon game, which shouldn't be that hard to fucking do, and the fucking CGI looks fucking worse than PS3 or even PS2 CGI. It's so bad. It was such a fucking nothing trailer, and it was just pre-orders. Start now. Pre-ordering what? I don't even know what the fuck it is. Like, Double Dragon is normally a side-scrolling fucking beat-em-up. Is it that hard to show a fucking second of gameplay? It looked like as if I was watching the start of like a Street Fighter fucking... You know when Street Fighter starts, you see like them like squaring off against each other and it's all like, oh wow, I wonder what art style they're going to use. And it's to show the art style off. It was like that for a fucking Double Dragon game. I don't even know what the fuck's going on here. For me, it was like the most completely pointless fucking trailer I've ever seen in my life. If this state of play, fucking half-hour trailers, and this was in there, I would have killed it there. Let alone a 3-hour conference up with some fucking amazing trailers. Infinity Nikki didn't even offend me as much as this did. Like, this was so offensive that Infinity Nikki's got a pass, which is just unbelievable. This is how bad this was. Did anyone else have that visceral reaction, or was it just yourself, Mr. Hoy?
Well, I was along there for the ride with you, Davey, and we were both making the same kind of comments over Discord, which, of course, is a podcast, so we can say it was fucking terrible. Like, it was Virtual Fighter level of graphics in a CG trailer, which boggles the mind why they thought, let's put this out now. That'll get people putting their dollar down. Who the hell's going to buy this? I don't know them. I'm quite high on Double Dragon, the older games anyway, but this game completely turned me off. The trailer was terrible. Turok, they need to leave. Double Dragon, they also need to leave, because both of those, they didn't deserve our time.
They didn't, my friend. They didn't. Now, Spence, I got a feeling you like a bit of Double Dragon. Don't you? You've played some Double Dragons before. Did you even remember this was even announced?
Completely forgot, mate. I love Double Dragon. I do love Double Dragon. Completely forgot. I love Double Dragon 2. I love Double Dragon Neon, which I see Neon as the revive. I don't see why they've had to revive it again, and especially not in the way that they have. Neon was brilliant. That's it. Don't need more. Double Dragon, it's replayable as fuck. We don't need more iterations of it, really. And like you said, what is this one? What's going on? The pre-order at the end, after showing nothing, is outrageous.
Wild.
It's nuts. I do not care for this thing at all.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of the Double Dragon series as well. I mean, like all of us, I love me some retro side-scroller, like fighting, like beat 'em ups and all that. I mean, totally into it. But like Spencer, I totally forgot this trailer was even shown. Maybe that's my problem. I forget all the bad trailers. That's why I had so much issues trying to come up with a kill. Like if it's a bad trailer, it just got out my head. Like I forgot about this and Turok. Yeah, bad. I guess. I trust your guys' opinion on it. If I'm gonna ask anyone about a side scrolling beat 'em up, I'll be with you guys. And if you think it's bad, then sure, I totally agree. I don't even remember it. That's how bad it is.
Dude, well, we don't even know what it is. We do, literally, it gives nothing away. There is, other than it being Double Dragon in the name, it could be fucking anything. It could be, for all I know, they're collecting outfits and it's Infinity Nikki too. Like, I don't even fucking know. There is no way to tell. And I think that's what makes it the worst trailer here, is that you get no concept of what this could potentially even be, other than it being, it's Double Dragon. So you'd think side-scrolling, but fuck knows. Who knows what we're doing in this? Are we fishing? Fuck no. There's no way to know. There is no way to know. Audience, if you, for some reason, have pre-ordered this, let me know so I can then start giving you some financial counseling. I've got some cryptocurrency I'm going to make up that you should invest in. Davey dollars. Just put all your money in that. And I'm sure that's going to be a great sound financial investment, same as your pre-order of fucking Double Dragon. But that is it, guys. We are going to move on from this and we're going to bring our show to a close. Mr. Philip Hoy has to get a move on. And we're going to be back in 2 weeks' time anyway to talk through our Game of the Years. And I'm sure that there's going to be more news that's come out at the back of this, the Game Awards, by the time we get there in 2 weeks' time as well. So, audience, I would like to know your thoughts on this. What are your Shag, Marry, Kill lists? Let us know, and we can bring them up on the next episode. Or, if there's any specific questions that you want to raise to us about our Shag, Marry, Kills, or any games shown at the Game Awards, please write into the email pswetrust@gmail.com, or hit us up on Twitter, X, @InPSWeTrust, and let us know. And we will make sure to include those in 2 weeks' time. I really hope you enjoyed the episode. If you have, a couple of ways to support us. The first is to go on to your podcast service of choice, leave us a 5-star rating, or any rating that you believe, but if it's less than 5 stars, then get fucked. Then what you want to do is you want to look at yourself in the mirror and you want to say, right, I'm going to tell the next 15 people I see in the street about In PS We Trust. We don't do much for sharing the podcast wide, so we need your help. Tell everyone. You're meeting everyone around Christmas table. You'll be getting this, a few days early, and you think, oh, do you know what? I really want to bring up some conversation starters here at Christmas dinner table. I got the Christmas cracker jokes to, really break the mood. And then from there, what am I going to do? Tell them about the podcast. If your gran has got the internet, which I'm sure she does, tell her about it. She might learn what to do if she had a micro penis. And that is what you want your nan to think about at the Christmas dinner. You want to be thinking, while she's cutting that turkey leg, she'll be thinking, oh, that looks like a bit of a vagina. Maybe if I was, should I swap that for a micro penis? Get that thought going through your nan's head. She'll fucking love it. She'll absolutely love it. And if not, well, hopefully not too long before you can benefit off the will and you can invest in some Davey dollars. Either way, it's a win-win. Well, with that bombshell, let's bring this show to a close. I've been Davey.
I've been Phil.
I've been Spencer.
And I've been Lewis.
Take care, guys.
Peace from Orlando.
In PS We Trust is hosted by Davey, Phil, and Spencer. You can write into the show via our email, pswetrust@gmail.com. Our Twitter is @InPSWeTrust. To find each of us online, follow our Twitters, @SSJDavey, @PhilipHoy, @SpenPie_. Thank you for listening. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other. See ya.